We hope you could hear. Oh, can you hear the song?
Song's gone.
Oh, man. All right. So, ladies and jerks, welcome. Bienvenidos. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Stained Haynes. He's Monoxus, and welcome to Words Mean Things. So, life gets in the way of lots of things, and evidently, there's more life than you could poke a stick with, throw a stick at, build a fort with sticks, and then have it collapse said fort. These things happen. So, we're glad you're tuning in.
And we're totally on the beach.
Not good, not bad. Better than okay, though. Joey,
There you go.
how you been, Momi?
An echo for you real quick.
So first of all, thank you.
Just want to check.
Time paradox.
Nothing's gone wrong yet.
So
I'm confused.
Yet being the operative word here. All
Nothing's
right.
gone wrong yet. I'm a little concerned.
So we have to give shout outs to people who are doing their service and thank you. So, Door Hunter, thank you for your service.
You remember
All
the one that popped up before, which was the YouTube one? Do you remember that? Something with
Waffen in it. It had Waffen somewhere in the fucking name.
It was a YouTube one, but they're on YouTube, so we don't gotta thank them, right?
Oh no. Listen, if you're the YouTube dude who subscribed, remember, we remember Waffen is in your name, so thank you for pulling through, all right, homie?
Hydrate already.
All right.
I just started drinking my not wine.
AVH, gracias por tu presencia aquí hoy noche. And good looks on Hydrate. And it is a lovely background. Courtesy of Monoxus, all right?
Whoa. Not courtesy of me, courtesy of the internet. But the internet made it very easy to search. So.
He kind of did the hard part and did the clickety clack. Yeah. So we're gonna get to the snacks later.
Oh,
but
we're gonna get keyed out.
Nice, they're keyed out.
Boy.
Oh no. See, this one is good.
Yeah.
We're good. All right, this one is fine. But I want to put the keyed out one some more.
It's just the leaves on this one.
God damn it! All right,
But they're fucking green. Oh, there's limes in there.
I'll trade you. I already got this bullshit. These camouflage fucking bullshit flags. All right. All right. So, ladies and jerks, among the current events, long story short. Oh, and by the way,
Do I have to throw pictures up? Are you going into that?
wait, hold on. Trap. Clothing boutique, TRAP. They're over in Brooklyn at 279 Broadway, Brooklyn, New York, 11212.
Wait, it's a clothing spot?
Yeah.
But they have other shit there.
And they happen to sell, like,
How are the clothes?
not bad, but I mean, like, shopping for my size is, like, not daunting, but not impossible.
I fit most things.
But you see, ladies and jerks, the hardest part is buying shoes because I'm a size 14. It is not easy. So, just so we can get it out of the way, in terms of current events, now there are a few things in the news I'd like to cover very quickly.
We didn't finish thanking everybody. We got to Door Hunter.
That's right.
For the YouTube guy. I think there was there rape in the name? I think it had rape in the name.
It did. That's why I kind of avoided it.
Okay, so yeah.
It had a word that we really can't say out loud here on Twitch, so excuse us. If the food isn't...
No promises. I can try.
So we're gonna try our hardest, and
I'll try to keep
if one
it
of us either ends up in the demi plane of salt or on the fourth plane,
it's a sign of nutrition. The food isn't keyed up. Anyway, Door Hunter, thank you.
Thank you for doing your part, Door Hunter.
I'm gonna assume that's Tazzy MC.
Tazzy MC, thank you for doing your part.
Serious, thank you.
Serious, because it is serious with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 S's. So we're not sure what the appropriate length for that is, but thank you.
I would just go with serious.
All right, serious.
Or sir.
Sir?
Sir?
Thank you for your service. Sir, Crypto Parlay King, thank you for your service. Gracias por tu consideración.
Look at the next one. Jalal Rumi?
Jalal Rumi. Or Jalal Rumi? No, it has to be Jalal Rumi. How the fuck else are we supposed to... okay.
So I'm going with.
Thank you for doing your part, Jalal Rumi.
And then Navarcus.
Navarcus,
Navarcus.
thank you for doing your part. But if it is Navarchus, then we're really sorry we're dropping the ball here.
Well, then you should have been here to correct us.
Right, but Navarcus is kind of dope. Like that's a pretty cool D&D name. I'm probably gonna steal it the next time I play through like a sword and board adventure where I put all my fighter points in strength.
Now my character right now is Dr. Bees.
There was a new Dr. Bees recently.
That's why I made a character based off Dr. Bees in D&D. He's a Swarmkeeper Ranger, and all my spells are flavored to summon bees.
Ah.
Yeah.
So,
Dr. Bees, not a doctor.
with the sweet, delicious... He's not a doctor, but he plays one on TV.
Dr. B is not a doctor, actually a ranger.
Nincompoop, Dare. Unfortunately, there is no Nincompoop here. There is a Weisenheimer and there's a Jerkface, but there's no Nincompoop.
Who's
All
a
right?
jerkface?
So,
Am I the jerkface?
I'm the Jerkface.
That's not true. Though.
All right, fine. He's the Jerkface and I'm the Weisenheimer. How about that?
That makes more sense, though.
Fine.
Come on, let's be honest here. Who can spout out more? Like, if we're gonna, Weisenheimer, it's definitely you.
I can neither confirm nor deny these other.
And while you go off on a tangent, I sit here with like a shit-eating grin or like resting bitch face.
All right, Jerkface. Fine. Admiral Jerkface is going to send the fleet out across Twitch.
We can fight over it, but it's unnecessary.
It's no. We're not going to fight over it. We're probably going to settle it in like best 2 out of 3 in like King of Fighters 98.
Oh, this is in reference to words you cannot say on Twitch. It started with an R and it ended with ape.
Yeah, it is not.
But it was in their name.
It's the fruit grape.
Take with a G.
So in your mind, in your mind. Please don't suck us into litigation over semantics.
One word.
Lawyer wizards.
One word, Dare Lion. But it was in the name. And they were a YouTube sub. So we were going to... Because Twitch is still giving me YouTube sub notifications.
So, in regards to the legal status of Monoxus exercising his First Amendment right here on Twitch, and where, like, the Constitution doesn't apply. Because let's be honest, much like on...
Doesn't the Constitution's, like, the whole idea of that, first of all, like the freedom of speech thing, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a bit more of a history buff, isn't that more about criticism of the government and government bodies?
Yes.
It doesn't actually protect your freedom to say whatever you want.
No.
Okay, so technically I'm not exercising my freedoms.
And we're not going to get into the argument of yelling fire in a crowded theater, because no one is doing such thing, although there is quite a lot of Fed posting. Oh, quick story, current events. All right, are you familiar with a guy who used to go on chat roulette with like Joker makeup and clothing? Yeah. All right,
and pointed guns at people.
So his
use
online
the N-word.
So yes. Yeah. He goes by the name of Gypsy Crusader, and he got famous because he was in this like clash that happened in March over in New York, and so this guy he did a little Fed posting. He did what we call a little Fed posting. All right. So then the FBI raided his house in March.
Really?
So first of all, they never explained exactly what the preceding thing of this is, but they said possession of a firearm as a felon. So it's like, what did this guy do to get here as a felon? Yeah. Then there's like unregistered firearms, and the serial numbers were filed off.
Okay.
And they're like, he's already this deep in the hole. He had 800 rounds of ammunition. Another 10 years. So he got sentenced to 3 decades. Gypsy Crusader. Hey.
Rip, dude.
Internet, serious business.
Well,
right?
That's it. He's done now. Live on through the memes.
That's so, like, kind of like how some people will live on only through their Google accounts.
Damn, so that means I'm never going to see any of those posted on Discord again. I never watched his stuff, but I always saw links to it or, like, clips of it. He's, sometimes he's funny.
But
I also once heard him discuss, I believe it was like open sexuality of like minors to what looked like 2 teenage girls on chat roulette who were super into it, and he was like, "This is ridiculous. you kids are brainwashed." And I was like, he's not wrong.
Right. But the internet is serious business, folks, and like the membrane between online and offline further continues to disintegrate further. Oh, so is the middle class, but we're going to get to that later. Don't worry. Middle class is going extinct. I mean, listen, like,
honestly, yeah.
If you did hear it here first, we're really sorry about that. It's been going on for a while.
I'm now back in the working force, and I know people who are going back into the working force. And I had to have this conversation the other day because things happen on the news and family and friends, and it's like, we got to talk about this now real quick. Right. But I mean, we'll get there.
So, very quickly, to plow through current events. All right, so
plow through. Come on, take your time.
Fine.
You got stories to tell.
Okay, so...
And we got to talk about a possible controlled demolition?
Yes, in Miami. Which, by the way...
do you want to start with that?
Yes.
Real quick? Just because get it off the table?
So, I think about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I could be wrong, but John McAfee, rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
He did not kill himself, and he had an apartment in that
In
building.
fact, he is. Not only did he not kill himself, he was adamant about making sure he could mark the internet with proof of, listen, I am not going to. So, I mean, at this point, how far does it go where someone can deliberately be like, it's not going to happen. If I die due to a suicide, I was Epstein. And then, like,
So now, all right. So
did he have to get an apartment in that building?
yes, he had a unit in that building. All right, which some speculate that is where there were physical copies of the alleged. I forget if it's 31 or 37 terabytes of what he called dirt that he was going to disseminate in the event. He
Why would he disclose that?
well,
I guess he was kind of unhinged.
no. Here's the thing. For how long I don't know, but
Can we agree he was a little unhinged?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
What's going on,
just
Cool-Later?
absolutely.
We're
What's
talking about McAfee real quick.
all right? Real quickly, cool later. What's good, homie? For I forgot for how long, but McAfee. All right, whatever. I fucked that up 14 times already. The point is,
I mean, was there an official?
John McDonald's Coffee McAfee.
Was it McAfee or McAfee?
I think is it McAfee? I could be wrong. Someone let us know. All right.
Or don't. It's fine. Who gives a shit? He's dead.
All right, so McDonald's had a dead man switch that if he didn't check in every 12 hours,
that's
it would
cool
go
too.
off. And like, I don't know for how long he had that, but he had that. I heard McAfee more than anything. All right, thank you,
That's
Cool
what I
Rider.
heard. So
All right, so Michigan was known as all right. So just real quickly,
The big M.
he had allegedly he had dirt on a lot of people. A lot of things have been posted on a certain Mongolian basket weaving forum.
I thought they were horse wrestling. No,
I-
that's the fitness boards. The fitness boards is horse wrestling.
The Mongolian steppe horse wrestling forum.
It's Mongolian horse wrestling and Mongolian basket weaving. Okay, yeah. So he had dirt on people. It was in that building apparently.
Well, allegedly, it was said to have where the physical copies of this information was. Now, herein lies the issue.
You mind if I fuck myself up with one of these real quick?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna get to the taste testing proper, but like he's gonna have some. All
Well,
right.
here's the thing. Those are actually all just interesting flavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can briefly go over it real quick. We
Well,
have
sure.
chili mango, Lay's. What were those? Cheese? Some kind of
Cheese, courtesy of Taiwan, and look
Yeah.
at this. Like, hold on. Now they're tree
It says that
chips.
here too. Hokkaido cheese.
Oh, then it's Japanese.
I don't know what that is.
Hokkaido's in Japan, but this is from Taiwan.
And then glazed donut popcorn, right? But these are I've had these before. These are ghost
This-
pepper chips.
This does not look Japanese, by the way.
Have you ever had a ghost pepper chip?
I have not.
They're not fun.
Can you see the Phantom Chinese?
Taiwanese.
Okay, Taiwanese, but that's not Japanese, but it's Hokkaido cheese. All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna fuck myself up with a ghost pepper chip.
All right. I'll take one too because like it just smells delightful from here. Warning, it's freaking hot. Is it freaking hot?
They're hot. They're real hot. But I'm a fan of hurting myself. So
So this is courtesy of Trap Clothing Boutique, by the way. They have exotic snacks and foreign drinks on top of clothing. But again,
Sugmo flavor. Sugandis.
Sugandis.
Fuck you guys.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Oh, those are pretty hot.
Mm.
I can fuck those up though.
All right. Oh no, these are kind of all right. It's
They're
been
hot.
a while
They're good. They're very good.
since it wasn't like basic bitch spice. So courtesy of Trap, we're gonna get to you later. Don't worry.
I'm
Mm.
probably gonna go over there and buy some clothes.
Customized clothing, sneaker, raffles, rare snacks, and foreign drinks. Trap, you heard it here first, folks.
So, the Big M had a kill switch and a lot of dirt. and he got Epsteined. Is that the gist of that? Is that what? Because that's what I heard.
There are a lot of things that have been unfolding since then. For example, Whacked is a crypto that went live.
Yeah, as like.
But there was an account named Epstein that went live and started trading and disseminating like Whacked and Ethereum like all over the place. And someone theorized where like, okay, there seems to be like a fixed amount, and then when that amount runs out, there's going to be the point is, what better way to disseminate the dirt than through a cryptocurrency? And where like, for all you know, Mr. McChicken Double Deluxe might have allegedly, if he rolls 320s in a row, all right, he revolutionized blockchain information dissemination, whatever you want to call it, because like, how can you get rid of the dirt if it's a crypto people are trading? And the technology that supports it. Oh, and he had been fucking with Monero for the longest, and Monero is the only crypto where it is total absolute anonymity. Like, you could probably doing like business with like a Sudanese warlord, and he just has a lot of Monero, and you're like, give me the Monero, and he's like, here's the Monero.
Okay.
Like, so this isn't something he's like a noob to. He's been ahead of the curve. For fuck's sake, he was the first guy who's like, y'all need antivirus. No, I think that might have been Norton.
Possibly. I don't know.
But the point is, dude was going to spend the rest of his life in federal prison. I think it's equally as possible that he just killed himself and said all this shit to cause a ruckus. Not wrong.
I mean, he could have been trolling people. I wouldn't put it past him. But where did the building come into that?
Oh, so he had tweeted out the address of the building at an earlier point in time, either a year or two ago, saying like, oh yeah, like this is where I keep my dirt. Or the dirt. There you go, the dirt. This is the guy who had hookers poop in his mouth. Yeah, from underneath a hammock, I believe, is the
don't judge the man's like potential like spy game over the fact that he likes a little bit of scat. All right.
He's a scat man.
People are allowed to be weird and have kinks, and then also be, trying to dismantle the government.
And by the way, among the snacks that we had,
Something about Trump and pee, right? Is that a thing?
That never came to light. That's just something people have to run with until they die. The alleged pee-pee tape. Listen, fucking Krispy Kreme popcorn. Thank you, Texas. Listen. Evidently, Texas isn't fucking around. Limited time flavor. Look at that. Limited time.
These are hot.
Yeah, these chips are really fucking hot. Yeah, hold on. Come on. Fucking focus. It says limited time flavor. That's what I'm trying to show you. All right. So, among other things, when shortly after
they're so good though.
Shortly after Morocco died, a Q was posted on his Instagram. All right, and evidently there was like, look at them vitamins, they make the bag transparent. Oh, it's got.
There we go.
It's got vitamin. It's got vitamin F, just like Malk.
Man, that's hot.
I want me some more of the double chips. I like how no one is intervening with hydrate. They're like, eat. You know what? Can we redeem points to eat more chips and die of dehydration?
I'm gonna eat the chips anyway. Woo! I just want to see the ramp up on this.
Listen.
Those are good.
So
those are real good.
So, a lot of things have been put into motion when he passed away. And on a barely related note, I had forgotten about this. I only saw this on a thread in said particular Mongolian basket weaving forum, where like, all right, some of the IP addresses that are being like active in this entire mess. Some of those IP addresses are like, shortly after Trump left office, the Department of Defense activated a couple of IP addresses that have been dormant for no one knows how long.
Okay.
So those IP addresses, through a long roundabout weaponized autist, like, investigative like backdrop, they're getting it. And the only reason we know about it is because it's like their Department of Defense. Why is that important? It's like, before 2016, basically, they have no use, but they're an established IP. There's like history. You know what I mean?
And then when Trump came in, they were being used. Is that it? Or after he left?
No one knows how long they've been dormant, but when he left, they went up. And some of those IP addresses, it's like, where's all this whacked going to? Why? So. Oh, dear sweet Jesus, these are spicy.
Yeah, they're hot.
All right. Whoa! So listen, Packies, you're not messing around. Brought to you by Trap.
I'll finish it. I'm just going to let my mouth rest a little bit.
All right.
So that building, right? Because that's, whatever. There's not much more to talk about. Matt could be there.
Very quickly, the building went down, which is strange because, number one, most of that building went down in what looks like a controlled demolition. I even tweeted about this. If you watch the footage, it's like it collapses in the middle, like Tower 7, and then the sides, and it's like, there you go. So, let's get on to story time. That's pretty much it, unless you want to talk more about whacked and NFTs and crypto and the blockchain and
well, I was just more in
and the
line
dirt
with,
and
buildings going down in Miami is a clever move, considering like sinkholes in Florida. Kool-Aider might know about that, but buildings fucking collapsing in Florida probably isn't very much.
But part of that issue is because Poseidon is going to reclaim Miami, Venice, and the Maldives before the end of the decade. All right.
That's fair.
Poseidon, hashtag give Cali to Poseidon. All right. So.
Damn them gyps.
So. You know what? Listen, I just hope the rest of these hold up to how great that has been so far, even though it is searing the roof of my mouth. They're meant to hurt you. So
that's the intent, I think.
So I saw something about an issue with the swimming pool not draining properly. It could have leaked and fucked the foundation up. All right. Listen, great.
So just building on swamps.
So evidently Kool-Aider, when he just shows up, it's like the theme to Home Improvement starts playing.
I mean, that's a good excuse, though.
That is a really good excuse.
A normal person would not even think to question that.
Because saying it's true, saying it's true, you're on a swamp, which makes it even. Now you've turned it into this horrible two-way problem.
You made it worse. You made a problem that's probably already present that much worse. So, clever. I also didn't really think about the controlled demolition thing, but now that I'm thinking about it, watching it go down, it didn't sink and then collapse. It just kind of collapsed.
Did both at the same time?
Didn't really sink.
All right.
It kind of just collapses in on itself.
Kind of like Building 7.
Yeah, a lot like Building 7.
I mean, it's like between these two lines. Hold on. Here we go. Between these two lines, and then the center comes down first, and then, the rest.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All right, so once upon a time, last week on a Saturday, we did not stream. So I was out putting flyers. Wait, we'll get to that in a second. I was out putting up flyers, all right? So, TLDR, I'm in a group chat with some internet homies, all right? So, in this group chat, someone's going, hey, we're going to be in the city. And under normal circumstances, I would have been streaming, but Monoxus was busy moonlighting as Queen Sexman when going through the streets of Hell's Kitchen in a side-scrolling escapade like Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to intrude, am I? And he's like, the more the merrier. And I'm like, all right. And I happen to be like a 17-minute walk away from where Clog was, all right, which is where we were meeting up in St. Mark's Place. So I go to St. Mark's Place, and I meet up with my friend James, who is best known for being the gentleman behind the MK Ultra podcast, and he is MK Ultra Money on Twitter. And he's also the man behind women posting their L's online. So we meet up, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? Not much. How you been? Right. We're going to get a table. We get the table outside, and I'm like, who's pulling through? And he's like, oh, just a couple people from Twitter. So then it turns out it's two people from a crypto thing that happened in Miami, where the Bitcoin thing. Like there was a fucking
like Mayweather was at and shit. There's like a big meet there.
It was a convention,
Yeah.
or I don't know what the fuck you call it. Like
It was a convention.
all right,
It was themed around crypto.
all right, and it was crazy because James ended up meeting two people, Chuba and Strange from Long Island, and it's like look how small the world is. Like they're all the way in Miami, and like James meets two dudes in the lobby from Long Island, so they pull through. Jugs, aka the jokes department, you could find him on Twitter. Turns out he's Italian trash from upstate, and he's the best. Just a diplomatic, gregarious, like force of nature. And Justin Wang, then he showed up, and that was pretty awesome. So, yeah. So let's go on to the slideshow. So chat is kind of blocking out James, but you could see James over in the back. Jugs is he doesn't want to get face doxxed, so you can't blame him. I don't want to get face doxxed, which is why I have a fucking hold on, I'm not trying to pick your nose, Justin. That's why I have like a flyer up here. So we meet up, all right, and everyone's cool as shit, and it turns out Justin Wang.
Real Hero.
And it's what's going on, Real Hero. So it turns out like Justin Wang is like Queen's trash, like us, like from Ridgewood, and it's awesome. And he gets to play the.
Also, to be fair, I know like you didn't get to mention it because you were not trying to be weird and intrusive, but like you're a fan of Wang.
Right.
I'm a fan of Wang. So then to meet Wang is like, small world.
Right.
Like, dude, I watch your videos.
and it was really hard not to immediately go like, yo, dude, I really love that one video where the Rotten.com was used in a U.S. federal court case in regards to free speech, and then
Yeah, because you don't want to fucking.
And it would have been, for God's sakes, that's like dancing for architecture. There's no fucking point. But at the same time, it's like, just talk to them like an individual. That's what I do on Twitter. Shh, you just talk to people like people.
Don't be weird. Don't be weird.
And that's pretty much it.
But I don't know. I just want to put that out there because I know, there's a chance I'm gonna meet him in the next week.
On the 4th. There's going to be a professional wrestling event and people in masks, and I'm showing up in my mask.
I gotta bring my mask to work.
and it's going to be on the 4th of July for Merca.
I gotta bring my mask to work so that when they're like, what's that? I'm like, it's a thing I'm going to.
Thank you, Kool-Aider, the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah. But yeah, so I get to meet him, which would be cool.
Wait, real quickly.
A lot of stuff.
But yeah, around here there is usually one or two a year that pop up and it swallows an entire house. God damn! All right,
That's why when I heard about it, I didn't think twice. It was like building Miami, eaten to the floor, and I was like, Florida has that problem. Swampland in general. Florida's our swampland here in the U.S.
Well, it's like our miniature Australia.
It's similar to how down in what is it?
It's like a mini death continent.
Well, Louisiana also has bayou areas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
There are bayous in certain areas. But
there's also marshland in Missouri.
But they don't build fucking massive buildings like fucking Miami does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. They don't have these huge cities built on this
no.
unstable structure.
But hear me out. Let's back up to see the forest for the trees.
What's going on,
Whisper. What's good, homie? Listen, I think I'm not saying you're conflating Miami with Florida, but hear me out. The argument you're making works perfectly for Florida as a whole.
As a whole, yeah.
Right. It's just
that in Miami, they're
the ocean is slowly. Not only is the ocean slowly claiming it back.
Imagine a whole stretch of land, and there's multiple places in the U.S. that are like this, where it's like, all right, here's the deal: the ground is already kind of shot. The ground is unstable. There's pockets of water underneath it. They have actual sinkholes, sections of ground underneath them that are void of things in them and crack open and spill into them.
Yep.
Florida all over. All right. And then someone went, what if we built massive skyscraper-style buildings on top of that?
And here we are, ladies and jerks.
Miami, where, again, to live there, it's pretty expensive. It's not a cheap city.
Yeah, but now the only reason we're
structurally, like, my God, who thought that was a good idea?
but the only reason we're talking about it is because Megadeth evidently had 31 to 37 terabytes of like dirt, which
Yeah, in a
even
building.
even if the physical copies are destroyed, who allegedly
And last I checked, one
this
person
is being carried out on the blockchain, and by the blockchain I mean whacked on whatever that is. Okay, what if Metallica turns out to have the last laugh of all? Although Kool-Aider, your argument is also sound. All right, it wasn't even on the mainland.
I didn't know that. I just heard.
It was on Miami Beach, which is like an island off the coast. All right.
Is that island stable?
Kool-Aider with the investigative on-the-scene
Well, no, because
journalism.
he's from the area. I'm sure he knows way more about it than we would.
Bro, someone I followed was in that building. R.I.P. Oh, shit. Dude. Everyone press F in chat.
But are they gone? Because
Oh,
according,
wait. No.
according to the news-
If they're still around, you can't press F for them. I'm sorry.
Well, because like according to I mean, maybe it's gone up since I've looked into it, but like the news has been like this screaming though. Only one found dead. Only one dead. We've only found one person dead, which to me, a whole building going down is suspicious.
Right.
One person died.
Right.
I thought that was odd. Has the number gone up?
Also,
4 dead. All right, so we've got a couple more.
Also, a real hero. The Hurrican Ramirez
Possibly,
mask.
They're lying. Good call. F question mark.
All right.
Because let us know, real hero. Did your buddy? Okay, so missing in action.
Damn. All right.
F's in the chat. Rip your boy.
F's
or rip your homie or your girl or whoever.
Listen, I really hope you get word sooner.
Maybe he got kidnapped and then the build. No, I don't. Let's be realistic here. They probably knew about the whole kill switch thing and they got out before it was too deep.
Listen,
But for real, rip.
ladies and jerks, please F and thank you for your consideration.
I don't want to compare it, but like I knew people who had family in the towers, so that was an interesting time.
Right, but that was
like, but maybe, and I'm sitting there. I mean, I was a teenager, but I was like, I don't know, man. I know it's like your pops, but it's like, let's be realistic, bro. Like, bro, shit. I don't know that. Like, I mean,
But and here's the creep. No. But fucking 9/11 was like so many
I was
people,
gonna say, have I
and
ever told
because
the
it was
story-
really it was 2 buildings.
remember
Crazy.
remember Hank?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember coming home that day because school was like the buildings went down. Everyone goes home, and then like I got in and he fucking walked in the door and he was just covered in like soot and there was like blood stains near him and he was like, I was near the building.
Holy shit.
I was next to it. It was just like, oh damn. Installing ACs nearby and people. He's just like in the living room, like watching it, just like. I was like, oh, that's.
There were some. Oh my lord! Because
I don't want to get off topic.
because everyone who lives here has a fucking 9/11 story, and it's the most absurd thing in the world. But that's neither.
I was a like young teenager, and the buildings went down. I was like, what? I don't know what this means.
I was in math class senior year, and it was the worst thing ever because the first plane hits and everyone freaks out, and she's like, "Everyone, pay attention!" Trying to get through the lesson, and don't you see what the fuck happened out the window?
What?
It was the most ridiculous.
Focus on the class.
So then in LIC, the cafeteria was on the 6th floor, so I make my way up to the 6th floor, and it's like, and then like the evidently something happened to the second tower because now like there's a hole in there,
Yeah.
and then like the first tower crumbles, and it's like that thing is gone, and to this day, the skyline looks empty. I didn't see the second one fall, but then like we all had to leave the school.
They have that like monument tower now.
And there was like a ruckus in the street everywhere, and oh boy,
Yeah, never forgetting.
and mom spaghetti.
I mean, never forget until we did.
And then like then remember for a while, freedom fries.
Who was
And
the guy that
people were-
Obama was kissing his feet and he had direct ties to that shit? I forget his name.
King of Saudi Arabia.
Something like that. It's nuts.
Remember Obama's apology tour as soon as he took office.
Point. Never forget.
Never forget until you forget.
Except when it's like, remember when you guys did some shady shit to us? My bad. We're like kind of bigoted towards you. Sorry.
Oops.
Sorry, people don't like you.
I'm sorry.
Even though you did what you guys were kind of tied. I mean, like you
Listen.
you didn't do it. You were tied to it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't George Bush did it.
Obama's like, listen, to show you that we're sorry, we're gonna help MI6 and Mossad make ISIS. All right. We're gonna make everything okay.
You guys know that lived through Hurricane Katrina? No one personally.
No, no, sir.
That's one that went over me.
Although, just real quickly, Hurricane Katrina did not hit just Louisiana, but like parts of the South as a whole looked like they were devastated. And if you wanted to see third world conditions, you could just walk around the streets of Louisiana, and it looks like fighting in fucking Lebanon between Hezbollah and Israel. It is you could see entire people's lives laid out, like record collections, motorcycles, their cars, clothing, jewelry, family photo albums, all ruined with like the end result of debris and death and water flooding in a direction into this like muck that the smell never went away.
Oh yeah, the planet's fucked.
It's
fighting back now. I mean, how else would you describe it? We fucked it so bad that it's fighting back.
Well, okay, listen, but because every once in a while,
not by choice, it just happens. It's like a side effect.
Every once in a while, the planet tries to like shake us off by fleas, like a dog shaking fleas off, and like, okay, Japan nuclear reactor, like blowout, and on top of that, a tsunami. Like no, now Mother Nature is getting bonus multipliers. This is some bullshit.
That's the beauty of the evolutionary spirit of the creatures on planet Earth. We're humans anyway are going to fuck the planet so hard that we just destroy ourselves inevitably. But then there's going to be like...
You think so?
Of course.
Hold on, I forgot to tweet that we're live. I'm very sorry, ladies and jerks.
You don't think so? Do you? I mean, I used this last time, the whole like cup overflowing. And let's be honest here, like, there's been a lot of great plays being made, but I haven't seen China fixing their shit. I don't think they're going to. And as of, I think it was 2019, China causes more pollution than the entire 7 largest polluters in the world combined.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 of the most polluted rivers in the world are in China. And every day, China does the equivalent of taking a strained and greasy dump and hurling it into the ozone layer, and then, like, washing their hands in the ocean.
The 7 biggest polluters on the planet don't stack up to one country. And that one country has no fucks to give about environmental, like, security. So until that country is wiped or gets in line with environmentalism, these reactions are going to keep happening. Add on top of that, because I'm specifically singling that issue out, right? Mm-hmm. Add on top of that, humans as individuals don't intervene in their own bad habits. Like, ain't nobody taking their ACs out. No one's fucking actually recycling. People are still driving cars. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. That's going to keep happening. Population's a huge issue, and no one's going to stop that shit. Like, no one's fucking going out of their way to be like, yo, stop having kids. No one's trying that.
Listen.
In fact, on top of that, the medical industry is making it harder to kill us.
In fact, Doug Stanhope had a bit about how, like, abortion is green. Like, it's really hard to sell "don't fuck in the front hole" to people. Like, because that desire to propagate, it's never gonna go out of fashion. So you can't tell people like "don't fuck in the front hole." Yeah. Like, in spite of all of the, because even if a human being operates at full maximum recycling capacity, they do not leave as much of a carbon footprint as someone who, like, has to raise a child.
Yeah.
So, if as per Doug Stanhope, if you don't have a kid, you could ride a fleet of SUVs to work, and you can cut out, like, because, like, if you cut out all the little, like,
just adding another human makes it worse. And people aren't, I mean, it's slowing. Point is, like, so yes, I do believe we're going to fuck this Earth beyond belief. And humanity might survive off-world. Or in some weird Mad Max, like, or some Dune shit, where, like, we're struggling to survive on a desert, arid planet, and, like, you have to drink your own fucking, like, fluids that you've retained through, like, a bodysuit.
A la Dune.
Yeah, like, a la Dune. Maybe humanity will survive. But do you know what will have no problem? Those fucking snails that live off of volcanic vents. Tardigrades. Like, life will survive.
Right.
Earth will persevere.
Nature will find a way, and then
Humanity probably will have a hard time.
I'm kind of, God forbid the grid goes down, Manhattan is going to turn into like Law of the Jungle, and unless you've already
Gonna
preempted
have 20 kids to spite eco folks.
all of this nonsense, and if you don't have PMCs, you're gonna have complete savages driving around the island of Manhattan with the cars of like lawyers and Morgan Sachs executives.
I see you snuck in here.
With their scalps on the hood of the grill nailed to it as a sign of dominance, because they're not going to urinate like a wolf.
Wait, how did we get here? Towers into this? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Ghost chips.
Ghost chips? No. The ghost chips didn't do this. I'm just forgetting how I got to
Danger, good looks,
once
homie.
again
How you been?
shitting on environmentalists by being like, I appreciate what you're doing, but while I'm sitting here being like, I try to recycle, I try not to leave, I fucking take public transportation, I care about the earth, I don't want kids, and then behind me, there's like 20 Chinese folks who are just throwing sludge into the water, and I'm like, why do I care?
I have not. Yes, I have heard of antinatalism, but those people are like, that's an uphill battle that just leads to death. Because like, think of all the people who are like,
I'm having another hot chip.
Think of all the people who are like, don't propagate, and then you know what? All their movements died out. Like, historically speaking, man, these.
I'm not gonna have kids because I'm selfish, and because I want to use my money, which is scarce, on me.
He wants to use his money on him. Do you blame him?
So that's my honest, like, you know.
Is that not capitalism?
Global warming is a cool theory. Have you tried pussy? On a regular basis, bro.
Bro.
I'm right there with you. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to live out the end of the world due to global warming, having lived a fully enriched and loved life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't want to have kids, because I don't want to have to be like, all right, son, everything's fucked. My generation tried to stop it and then gave up gave up by like not trying hard enough.
Right.
The generation before gave no shits. That's it. Deal with it. Sorry.
I love this sitcom.
Because like we tried.
And you know what? Boomers, but for large-scale global catastrophe.
We tried really hard, and seriously, we did. But there were a lot of people above us who had more power, and they continue to not give a shit. So, look, here's how you put the tube in your nose so that when it straps around and catches your like excess moisture, you can drink the water out of the pouch on your side. Because like you're gonna need this, trust me. And seriously, like slim that suit down, because if you lose too much moisture, like the sandworms will get you.
All right, listen. Kool-Aid is already one step ahead of you. Kool-Aid goes, human armpit sweat is an aphrodisiac, so we're kept in a leather pouch in the alien's closet until they need a lick.
Dune beat you to it, buddy.
Back in my day, you could buy an AR-15 with a credit card instead of 10 hogs.
What's a hog? That's what
Papa, what's a hog?
What's a hog? Oh yeah, we killed a whole lot of animals you don't get to see. Look, we have picture books. I still have them. Because the grid went down, so I can't show you on the internet.
We used to have cows, and they made burgers, and they were the greatest things your generation will never know.
Don't worry, just eat the bugs. They lived through everything.
Oh, man. Our generation had things you would never understand, like burritos and, like, avocados.
I know what a hog is. I'm talking about, you know. I'm talking about...
No, we're talking to the hypothetical...
To the hypothetical future generation.
To the hypothetical, like, down-gridded... Oregon Trail, America, children that we're going to be speaking to. Well, I would like to one day. I'd like to be a family man one day.
We're going to be in the fucking, the waterways in a foreign nation, and we're going to have a moment of like, fuck, there could be like hippos or gators here. And then have a moment of like, oh wait, hippos and gators went extinct a long time ago when we fucking polluted the water beyond belief. There's nothing in the water anymore, it's just barren.
In fact, when all the hippos in Africa die out, the only remaining hippos are going to be the ones in Colombia that Pablo Escobar. Listen, in the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
TLDR, in the 80s.
Those are going to outlive the natural environment.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Like they.
100%. Yes. There's no, like, those are going to, those are the last ones.
Yeah, and I would even go so far as to say that, like, in the North Pole, like, if and when the North Pole is gone, The
Okay.
only remaining penguins will be on the Galapagos Island off the coast of Ecuador.
And in the zoo.
And, oh, that's right, and in the zoo.
Being fed synthetic fish meat to keep them alive.
And the best part is, like, who's to stop, like, rich aristocrats from going, like, I would like to dine on penguin tonight.
In this painting, I'm depicting the hostile raider faction as a soy jack, and as a cat. Actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, remember Mad Max Fury Road?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, weren't those Silver and Pale Boys very soy jacky?
They were, yeah.
And Max and Furiosa were kind of chads.
Yes, they were, Max especially.
Also, what's his name? The leader of the soy jacks was kind of a chad.
Immortan Joe.
Immortan Joe. He was kind of a chad with all his bitches, keeping the soy jacks down and doing all the dirty work.
What really won me over with Immortan Joe was how when he was traversing
Chad Max and the fucking Chad Max and Chad Immortan Joe.
when he was
His army of soy jacks.
when he he had a motherfucker playing electric guitar with fire coming out of
That
it.
guy wasn't a soy jack. He was just a Wojak who was in the wrong place.
He was just a bard.
He was just a Wojak. He was a regular Wojak who got caught up with the soy jacks, but
So-
he was kind of metal.
So when Immortan Joe is traversing through his keep, wondering like, where are my bitches?
Yeah.
You have this one shot where he's walking like through a vault. It's a vault door to Immortan Joe's keep.
Yeah.
His lair.
He's very secure.
And then you go, and among other things is like an untouched Steinway piano just sitting right there in the middle, which means like this is centuries after classical music radio stations. So kind of like Dare, like Immortan Joe was not a child that asked Papa, "What's a hog?" Immortan Joe knew. All right. So,
I don't know what it is about your stream at 160 and the stream is still lagging like hell. I don't know.
and this consistent with every stream. Oh, hey, Danger, where are you watching us from? We're curious. Hey, everyone else in chat, do you have problems watching us when you're on the Interbutts or the World Wide Web? Let us know.
Because you can see right here. We fine.
Right.
Yeah, on our end, fine. That's weird. Damn, them spicy chips is good.
Oh my god, these are really good.
And then they fuck my mouth up, but damn, they're good.
All right, everyone, thank you for sounding off. We really appreciate it. Because on the lower left-hand corner, it ranges anywhere from like 18 point something percent CPU to like 23 point something percent CPU. So we're pretty sure that the problem is not on our end.
Hey, Jeep State. First time.
Jeep State, what's good, homie?
See you hiding there. Put up the green screen. Alright.
All right.
Hold on. Let me just, what are we doing here? Oh, it's doing this. And then we're doing, oh, now I have to go, filter. Turn
Jeep
you
State, all the way from the deep layers of the AstroTurf top-down internet gladiator pit known as Twitter. What's good, son? How you been, homie? Thanks for coming on through.
off. Oh no. Here, I don't like how you look over here. You're ruining it.
So are we lagging now? Because now he's just got the green screen as a whole.
Well, no, I'm doing that because I think Coolator wants to get a hot chip thing to make
Oh,
another...
right. All right. Hey, Coolator, you got to get to work. So
Oh, I'm gonna eat. I was gonna go grab some more food and do this, but like we'll do some hot chip stuff.
listen, you got to get... Listen, and make sure...
That one had bad powder on it.
Hey, Coolator.
There you go.
You got bonus footage, all right?
Oh
So-
my god, that shit was covered.
So you're gonna have me eat. All right, hold on. Yeah, come on, Coolator. Hold on. I'm just getting little tiny bits here.
No one.
I don't have this. Hold on,
Oh my god. Covered.
Coolator. You gotta get to work. You have to allow it. All right.
Oh no, it's allowed. I just want my name.
Oh
popped
yeah.
up.
Joey, your shit got highlighted by Twitch, and it says
That's 'cause my name, yeah.
almost assassinated by Chips.
They think he's threatening me. There was so much powder. It just coated my throat.
And you inhaled,
Yeah.
unlike Bill Clinton when he smoked the marijuana.
Oh my god. It was so good. There you go.
Uh-oh. Kool-Aider, what you typing? Because it's all asterisks. Did you get fucking deleted by Twitch?
That's not me. That's Twitch. I haven't got any safety words.
Kool-Aider, I hope you had gotten the appropriate amount of picture-based shit posting.
Oh, God. Careful, Dare. You're going to get canceled.
Oh, Dare. Dare, you son of a bitch.
You're going to get canceled, sir.
Oh, my...
So hot.
Can someone please help us out and put hydrate? Can you hook me up with some water?
Hydrate yourself. You don't need them.
Chat, help us out. All right, so Pocky,
Oh, my God. They're so good.
courtesy of Trap. All right, now we're not fucking around. Trap is the reason we're eating these chips tonight. Courtesy of Bad Post Roman. Thank you, dude. So 297 Broadway. You can find them in Brooklyn, not only for their exotic snacks and not only for their foreign drinks. Don't worry, it's the swarthy and the not kind of swarthy foreign, all right? Customized clothing, sneaker raffles, rare snacks, foreign drinks. All right, I'm just repeating myself at this point, but you have to give credit where credit is due. I can't remember the last time I ate something spicy that made me regret things, like until wasabi, but that was years ago. I just ate like a mouthful of wasabi and it sucked.
I've had Carolina Reaper, so I'll take it.
Oh, Joey, you fucking sweetheart, thank you. So,
What's going on, Maddie? We just ate some hot chips.
Maddie, what's good? We had eaten chips that made Monoxus feel like he had just inhaled mustard gas.
I breathed in this, whatever the fucking powder.
Because okay, so listen, all the other chips, like they have like weird clipping world mode. All right, you see this?
It's just like,
But this one, as you can tell, it's all the way to the freaking hot. Hold on, I don't know if you could tell it from here.
you know, if you
see
want,
it?
I can get some Carolina Reapers. We could eat those on stream one day.
And then we're gonna cry on camera,
I
and
don't
for
know if
all
you
the
can-
wrong reasons.
I don't know if you can handle a Reaper, but you let me know.
I probably can't. So no, this was quite delightful, Maddie. Fucking delicious, even though it had ended up turning into like sipping water and pretending that it isn't clawing our throat with like ironclad, flaming, barbed wired covered gauntlets. It was some bullshit. And then on top of that, you have like hobbits in like shitty clothing from the 60s who are like, they've got like a Zippo lighter and like a Lysol can, and they're doing that on your throat too. These chips did not fuck around, not one bit. All right. It was absolutely delightful. Hey, don't judge, all right? Potato chips don't last long at 718 TV headquarters, all right? So Bad Post Roman, good looks on coming through and getting these for us. All right, so if I roll over and start gagging, that's why. Jesus Christ, it's really spicy. Felt so hot the salt turned to chlorine and sodium. Yeah. And then when I take a shit 5 hours from now, I'm going to erode the pipes of my building. And then they're going to be like, well, how the hell did this building collapse happen? And it's going to be like someone ate the fucking hot chips. All right?
How the hell did we get there?
Oh, so like, I'm going to go take a shit after eating these hot chips. And the hot chip shit is going to erode the pipes of the
building, yeah.
of the building, and then like, you know, eventually there's going to be like forensics, and then they're going to ask, how did this happen? And it's, you know, them hot chip shits.
Yeah.
How did these people get these?
Making my nose water. All drippy.
So really quickly, you could pull up the photo and I'll finish up the first story. All right,
Go for it.
so TLDR, I meet up with Mr. James Healy, who is responsible for women posting their L's, and he is behind MK Ultra Money and the MK Ultra Money podcast.
And this gent.
That's Jugs, that's me behind the flyer, and that's Justin Wang. So then we end up at this bar, and everyone's getting, and not hammered, Strange and Chuba, all right? So everyone is proceeding to get wrecked. and we fucking traveled through time, and we ended up going to Rectember. All right. And earlier, just for context, for anyone who's just joining us, I'm in a group chat with James, and James was like, yo, pull through. And we weren't streaming last Saturday. I was out putting up fucking flyers, and Minoxus was busy having to negotiate a hostage situation over in Trump Tower. So, I realized, all right, I'm in the city, you're in the city, how far are you? So it turns out this started in Clogs, which was in St. Mark's, and now we're in this fucking place. And then we ended up seeing the drummer of Clowncore play live, and we had to pay $25 at the door, but that's besides the point. Wang was a really good dude. He's born and raised Queens trash, much like Minoxus and I. And a big fan of The Simpsons, really sharp too. It was great to commiserate with someone wearing a New Jack shirt, as you could tell. Hold on. Can you see the New Jack shirt? There you go. That's the New Jack shirt. You see?
But you can actually see in one of his videos.
You came prepared. Right. So, everyone got borderline obliterated. I'd be lying if I said I was hungover, but I was far from 100%. It had felt like I had crawled a marathon. James can drink countries under the table. I once saw him bankrupt the entire country of Belarus on a Thursday evening, and it was not pretty. Like, the gnashing of teeth and wailing of women and children. So anyways, yeah, that is the story of how I met a couple of people on Twitter, which, you know, I'd hung out with James a number of times. Sometimes he holds drunk Mario Party, and it is among the greatest ways you could spend a Friday evening. His backyard is really nice to hold social events and gatherings, and yeah. Gracias, James, and he helped facilitated Internet Jerks meeting in real time and space. Jugs, quite the gregarious and diplomatic man. He is Italian trash from upstate, and there's nothing like him. And every time women were trying to take fucking pictures, they asked him, and you know what? He takes better pictures drunk than most of you people take sober. So that's the story of how I ended up meeting Justin Wang.
Next story?
Yes, let's go. So, Roman, a.k.a. Bad Post Roman, a.k.a. Detroit's finest, a.k.a. terrorizing the theater district day and night, he was going to an art gallery. And he was like, hey, pull through, let's crash. And I'm like, all right. And he was like, you got to bring the mask. And I was like, sure. So we go. And, quick little story. On the way there, we meet Thelma from fucking Thelma and Louise right over here. Here we go. In the shades and the bandana. And she was with a dude by the name of Matthew Napoli, who was an artist who sculpts really dope shit. And he was wearing an Insect Warfare shirt. And I was like, dude, it's fucking... Because you never see an Insect Warfare shirt in the wild. I mean, like, how often do you ever see, like, in the wild, like, super mega rare niche, like, because there's, like, all right, there's the aesthetics of black shirts, and I get it. You could put anything on a black shirt, like nerd shit, comic shit, things of a band, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Movie posters you could put on a shirt, all right? But, like, traditionally speaking, like, metal, you know, all the crap in metal is on black t-shirts, all right? But then comes, like, grindcore, which is a very specific genre of music that most people really couldn't care less about. But the people who do care about grindcore are super mega hyper focused and obsessed either about a handful of bands or all the bands. And one of the bands I like from a handful of bands is Insect Warfare. So to see an Insect Warfare shirt in the wild now, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. So turns out he knew her and Mr. Napoli, and then, oh shit, you know him? Dude, Noise, Grind, Power, Death is their best album. And he's like, I fucking know, right? And because of this, I end up showing him the flyers, all right? Many such flyers, as a matter of fact. We're just going to put you through the fucking gauntlet right now.
The camera's not going to like it, but go for it.
The camera could go, like, lay down and die. So,
Hear that, cameraman?
so among other things, hey, listen, like, fucking 2 tons of fun can go shut up for a minute, all right? So, first of all, courtesy of A of the H, all right? So, an album is going to drop on the 22nd of August, and you can kind of guess where it's going to be coming from. So remember, the old world is dying, and the new world struggles to be born. Now is the time of monsters.
Like a sheen on that.
Right?
Smooth.
So, Drunk Mario Party sounds like people complaining and not under. No. Because the best part about Mario Party is that the game isn't over until the end of the very last turn. There's nothing, whether you try your hardest or whether you don't try at all. Because lest we forget, there is Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. Who never forget on St. Patrick's Day on Salty Bet. Once upon a time, and it was all B tier, and all the characters were deliberately made to pick the palette with the green character. And on St. Patrick's Day, Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing, won the St. Patrick's Day B tier tournament. So, reminder, you're probably watching this on a desktop or a laptop or a tablet, but if you are watching on your phone, then you're going to have to turn the phone off. Like, you're going to have to turn Twitch off and then go back to doing your normal phone functions. Unfortunately, you always on your damn phone. Thank you, Monoxys. And as you can see, here's Monoxys. It's right here. He's going to end up, like, plastered on the side of trucks over in fucking Pakistan one of these days. But it's going to be like Urdu saying it's all you always on your damn phone. And they're gonna think you're some like great Muslim source of wisdom because like you're making fathers and uncles and grandpas feel empowered by slapping the younger ones because they always on their damn phone.
I hope not, but yeah, whatever. I'll take it.
So, number 2. Now this is, of course, this is the one people tend to get butthurt and shitter shattered about quite often. Actually, here we go. So this is the one people tend to get butthurt and shitter shattered most of all. And I kind of sort of get it because we're going to be discussing like Chinese lung herpes and how people made a lot of money off of biotech, buying and selling in the February and March of 2020. A lot of people in elected offices, you know.
Or how about the alleged coronavirus research lab that exists in the area where the coronavirus first showed up? Or how about the alleged emails that Dr. Fauci had sent out to researchers at that lab months before the virus outbreak? Or how about the emails that he had sent out that got leaked that allegedly had him contacting the vaccine companies that are currently making the vaccines for the coronavirus, asking if they had the thing ready?
Or how about the email chains that basically show he just sat on his hands because he was like, I don't know what to do?
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. There was an open letter written to Dr. Fauci in 1989 because he not only did he mishandle Chinese lung herpes, you know what else he mishandled? The AIDS crisis. All right. So let's hope the camera can pick this up. Yeah, you can. Joan Rivers wasn't lying. All right. So, oh, and real quickly, Danger. Drunk Salty Bet is kind of fun because occasionally you're just like,
As long as you have the salt for it, it's great. If you don't have a surplus of salt, you might come back from that hungover and mad that you lost all your salt.
But the silly thing about just going, because I'll just bet somewhere between like 10,000 to 50,000 on like whatever, but like you end up on like an upset bet you didn't anticipate, and you're just like,
50,000 was my go-to bet, where I felt safe. Just 50,000 salt at a time. Unless I was like, no, sure thing, and we're whaling.
Oh no, and then we wail for delicious peanuts.
Yeah.
So eventually, I would be a very big proponent of putting this on a shirt. All right, ladies and jerks. Oh, what happened? Can you put that up? Holy shit! Please, for the love of God, you have to put that up. Kool-Aider is probably the heavyweight champion of freestyling and manipulating images from meat space into the internet. Let it be known that the heavyweight champion of You're the Man Now Dog of YMTDs, please. Oh, Ave Maria. Yes. Hold on, wait. Can you, do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
It's so good.
Oh, that's so good. Kool-Aider, gracias. All right. No, put it back.
No, we're going back to the background.
Fine. All right. So.
Listen, as per tradition here, I'm just gonna make it the profile picture.
So, I'm quite fond of this, and it's funny because occasionally someone's gonna be like, "Bro, what's the name of the girl?" And I have no idea. I found it on Google Image, and I'm very sorry. Although, if you were to tin eye this, you know what you fucking find? Nothing with her name on it. So I'm sorry. I saved you the research. So now, Matty Furious is up in the house. You know what Matty Furious fucking hammered out and just fucking NBA Jam Slam dunked He's on Fire from the 3-point line? Boom. Alright? Matty Furious can create images, NFTs, edit videos, shake elderly home management residents for their bingo money. 2 phone calls and he could find somebody who knows somebody who could get you all that weaponry that no longer exists in the Soviet Union, but places that have their own flags. So anyways, Debt to America, all right?
You missed a series. You didn't plug them at all.
Not only is Silly Buggers the second best
There you
thing
go.
you're not watching right now, all right? This gentleman is also a NAFTA documentary making winner, all right? Don't be shy. That is a fucking flex you should be throwing out there. Showing up in places where there's like a 17-floor flat somewhere in like midtown London, and there are cocksuckers in fucking tuxedos and white gloves with like things on toothpicks on trays, and you're like, yeah, I'm the NAFTA documentary winner, no big deal, you know, and like fucking playing dice with the guys working in the kitchen. And, like, you're getting them really tight because you can, 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven. Because today was a good day. All right? So, really, like, listen. If he doesn't know, he knows someone who knows, or he knows someone who knows someone who knows, allegedly. All right? So.
I also didn't know that Maddie made that. Good to know, because it's my favorite of the flyers. That is my actual personal favorite because it's relevant, and it will be relevant as long as Biden is in office.
I came to him with a couple of pictures, and I'm like, "How do you put Debt to America on this thing?" And like it was like, "All right, so here we go." And I'm like, "All right, that one." And then I'm like, he's like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Put the 718 TV over there." And he was like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "No, you got to put it over there, and you got to put the font a little bigger." And he's like, "Here you go." That's.
My favorite one, but again,
that's basically how you.
The relevancy of Debt to America will last until Biden is out of office, and if these people are dumb enough to put him back in for 4 more years, well then, bang, you got that.
Because seriously, like, yo, Maddie, that is a fucking 8-year flyer. Like, it's gonna be all up in. Listen, that
8 year, you're pretty confident in Biden winning.
I'm just saying.
God, I don't want to deal with that.
Who the fuck is gonna run? Not
How
Trump.
would he survive? Trump can run again. Would that not be hilarious?
They're gonna put Biden in a RoboCop suit. That's it.
Robo
So,
Joe?
Robo Biden.
Fucking Robo Joe.
Now listen here, Jack. So, all right. So, Obey Haynes. So, Kool-Aider, thank you for the Obey Haynes text, which I am quite fond of because whenever I find pictures of Andre the Giant and stickers and tags either on light posts or on walls, no, it is now obligatory. And Kool-Aider, I will get you the Obey Haynes slightly tilted picture that you do request so we can do this properly. Relax. Calm your tits. Do not grab your ankles. It is not SummerSlam, all right? But coming to a theater near you, all right? So, this flyer is the end result of other flyers being torn down for any number of reasons because, like, I guess paper in public and ink make people cry and shit their pants, and even something like this, it gets torn down.
Yeah.
Like
that's tied for a favorite with me. It's this and the Debt to America.
This this is the end result of, like, if you're going to tear my things down, do you want to tear this down? And there's a joke in the flyer that only 2 people have gotten so far. One of them said, I don't count. I made it, you jerk. But you know what else Matty Furious made? Hey, you're gonna get some deep Matty Furious lore right now, alright? So, I wrote some text for a Frank Castle video that I found out about that through Newworks, alright? So then, Frank Castle gave me a shout out and he was like, follow this man. And then I got a number of followers. In fact, other than Matty Furious, among the other people that ended up following me was also Matty Boy Anderson, who is the world's greatest obscure comic book author, an artist and writer, operating out of Georgia, Hotlanta, if I'm not mistaken. So, Matty Furious follows me, and I'm like, I'm gonna follow this guy back. This shit is ridiculous. And I was partially sold by the picture of him giving the bird, but it was like 90s video game magazine graphics of like the stark yellow, but then like the clothing, and then like the varying shades of like.
You're a cat.
All right, so he follows me, and I follow him back, and he DMs me going, "Hey, thanks for the follow back," and I'm like, "Oh, like good looks, homie." And he goes, "Hey, if you ever need anything, let me know." And I was like, "Yeah, I need something. Take this picture and turn me into here, and then like turn Monoxus into there, and then put fucking cameraman over here." And then put 718 over on the boat. Right over here. Hold on. I gotta do this inverse, alright? Hold on. There we go.
What do you want, cat?
There we go. Alright. And yeah, like a fucking gentleman. He was like, here you go. And I'm like, and then the thing has to be like this. And he was like,
sneaking suspicion.
how about this? And I was like, and then the thing has to be like this. And then he was like, would you like to try some of this? And then I was like, and then he's like, would you like some of this? And eventually I was like, yeah, I would. So, the end result was this. And that's some deep Matty Furious lore and 718 TV coming at you from Queens and the Bits. Don't sleep, because eventually Monoxus is going to fuck your girlfriend, cameraman is going to hide shit in your living room, and I'm going to take a dump in your sink.
Backtrack. Me fucking someone's girlfriend is... There's a lot of variables.
I'm not saying that
you can't just throw that out there.
I know. It's listen.
Because like, what if one of these people's girlfriends? They're not actually their girlfriend. They're like, hold on, they're their girlfriend. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not into that shit.
No, he's not. But like, Monoxus tends to attract women whose favorite position is behind the.
Thank you.
That's right. But Monoxus tends to attract women whose favorite position is behind their boyfriend's back.
I'm just saying, like, you can't just throw that around. Might not happen.
No, I mean, I'm just like, statistically speaking, if like bitches in the tri-state area, and among the tri-state area are the 5 boroughs, and fucking 3 out of the 5 boroughs is 718, because Staten Island, you technically don't exist, you fucking waste of life. Hey. It's okay, Staten Island, you're okay.
Be nice to Staten Island,
all right? I'm not obligated to.
A lot of things came out of there.
Like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Well, that's all we need. That justifies Staten Island.
All right, Staten Island, I'm sorry. And okay. Don't try to get at me through Matty Furious, all right? Because they're going to be like, yo, Matty, this guy's talking mad shit about Staten Island. And then he's going to get contracted to fucking kill me in my sleep.
Well, hey, to be fair, don't go through anybody to get to us in general.
And then Matty Furious is fucking, like, shooting dice with, like, fucking, like, Shaolin monks in a parking lot
you got a problem,
in
you
fucking
come directly
Staten Island.
If you got a problem with either one of us, you go directly to cameraman, and we let him take care of all that shit. All right, so you bother him, and I'm not going to tell you how to get to him, but you figure it out. You know where we are. Bother cameraman. He's responsible for all that kind of nonsense.
In fact, he's the guy who's been listen, I had no idea he'd been filming all of this until fucking 6 weeks ago. Like, why is he so good with the camera?
To be fair,
why does he even have a fucking mixing board? I just thought he was collecting shit from outside.
He also has the camera that he films us filming with.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have like, we have this stream setup going, and then he'll film us while we're doing the stream.
Right.
Or like when we're out filming, he'll set up the position to film something, and then he'll film that.
A of the H goes, he is stealing my mangoes.
That's gotten nonsensical at this point. We're lucky I took my phone away from him, because otherwise we would probably, you may benefit on Instagram from having him have the phone because but he might just put dumb shit on there. You know, like,
How do I know he's not going to be taking selfies of himself and he's going to be like, "Hey, happy Irish Heritage Month," and like,
or just like pictures of random things he finds on the street.
and he like writes soliloquies about them, but
Like,
like
take
every word is a hashtag.
Do you want pictures of like street garbage on your Instagram? Give him the phone.
Now, A of the H, exactly how big are these mangoes? Like, because because I'm trying to figure out, like, is he like scrambling up the tree to get the small mangoes, or is he using his like psychic manipulative meat space nonsense that burns mana points in a bar that we can't see? But I know it's there, and it's underneath his health bar. I once saw his health bar. But the point is, all right, when you catch cameraman off guard, when he's not engaged in anything,
Don't do that.
when he's just like standing, like staring at the wall,
Don't do it.
there's a health bar over his head.
Yeah, don't engage him without him knowing you're there because he probably already knows you're there and he's aware that you think that he doesn't know you're there, so he knows you're trying to sneak up on him, and that makes the whole situation worse. Just don't do it.
Like, the only way I could see the health bar is that, like, I have to look at a reflection of himself through a telescope, like, a couple of, like, blocks away.
At this point, don't sneak up.
But there's a health bar over his head, and whenever he does that lines sounding, food disappears and things move on their own, and, like, things open and close, and technology turns off and on and uses itself, burns mana. The point is, all right, I'd like to know what the size of these mangoes are, because, like, what is he doing? No, dude, the mangoes are pretty big, like 2 fists ripe and luscious. Oh, so what? Okay, so what the fuck is he doing? Is he getting your tree dirty? Does he, like, shake the mango tree and then, like, the leaves fall down and it's making a mess in your backyard or your front yard, or for all I know, you have a mango plantation, and now, like, in the middle of the night, like, you just have this, like, jerk off in a fucking cape and jeans, like, showing up and, like, snatching underneath, like, using his cape as a basket and, like, hurtling around, like, the Indonesian countryside, and it's fucking humid out there. Like, that's no big deal. I mean, like, if either one of us were to do it, even in, like, basketball shorts and a tank top, I would sweat so much. I would, first of all...
Speak for yourself.
I would fucking melt into abstract art, and I would be a permanent fixture. And they're like, here lies Stained Haynes, and it looks like a fucking concrete truck accident with a luchador mask in it, because, like, I spontaneously combust when I run out of, like, fluids to perspire with, alright? Shaking the tree in the occasional clip, he apparently comes with scissors. Yeah, that's cameraman fucking walking around with scissors in, like, people's backyards, the airports, cookouts he wasn't invited to, the mall. Yeah, that's cameraman. It's like he has a stand, but you can only see it in a very rare scenario. Oh, danger. What if you're true? Like, what if you're not wrong? What if, like, the stand is just, the sound, and he's invisible, and this whole time he's been tricking us into thinking he's, like, telekinetic?
Huh. It's possible.
Listen, danger. If you are correct, I owe you a Coke.
Does that mean that, like, it's eating the stuff? And he's just, like... And then we watch it, like, dissolve and
That's right. It's the stand who's eating.
Is it a stand, or is cameraman possessed? Or is that just, like, there's an entity that controls the thing that we know as cameraman?
Or is the stand just occupying, like, the third dimension on top of cameraman, so it looks like...
Then why does it look like a fucking fat eyeball? What's wrong with it?
Because stands don't know the pleasures of the mortal flesh, like fucking and eating and drinking.
I'm just confused.
And pissing off the side of a boat on enemy territory.
I stopped trying to figure this shit out a long time ago. He's chill. He gained a little weight. We're working on it. But, like, more... You know what? Cameraman's recommended some of my favorite books to me, so, like, I got no qualms with that.
And even though Cameraman did turn into a tubble-lard motherfucker, he did, like, give me a lot of advice in terms of, like, dating,
it's not
online
his fault.
dating.
He was just stuck inside, and every time I tried to get him to do something, he would just eat Krispy Kreme donuts instead. Which, like, okay, so it's kind of his fault. But that's why we're working now, He had to learn.
Listen.
He'd never been fat before.
It's okay. Okay, so he's learning through trial and error. Okay, all right.
I was mad at first. Now I'm just like I'm interested, like because he's paying me to train. So now I don't know where he gets the money, but
Now, A of the H.
he might be taking it out of my account.
Can you? Ooh. Okay.
It's
What's your workout for him?
It's mostly based around just getting him moving. So we've been doing training circuits. I try and hit every fundamental movement pattern. I have a home gym for him. So I give him pretty standard stuff, but his range of motion kind of sucks. I think he's very top heavy, so it's kind of hard to balance some things. It's impossible to do overhead presses with a straight bar because he just hits himself in the eye. So we have to do like side press, like again
With dumbbells?
With dumbbells, yeah.
Okay.
I have access to it. You know what I mean? A lot of running, just because I like watching him run because he has a cape and it flows and it's really cool to watch.
And he likes to jog alongside and poke him with a stick.
Yeah, just I mean, I'm not writing shit down about cameraman. It's out there.
So much cameraman lore, you should write it all down like Tolkien so we can keep track. Oh my god, listen.
There's a video archive of it. It's called 718 TV at YouTube.
You could find all of that shit at youtube.com/718TV.
It's all there.
Listen, Mystic Shorts, first of all, good looks for coming by, homie.
Yes, agreed.
Second of all, there are untold
Can you
stories.
still feed him 17 cans of dog food? We've weaned him onto human food.
And the best part, Patty, like sometimes cameraman likes to go where like a fucking UFO crashes, and then he kidnaps the Greys and he keeps them in Monoxis's closet, and he feeds them like Wendy's Baconators and watches them die from the cholesterol and grease.
I don't mind because I get to eat some of those Baconators, and I fucking love Wendy's.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
In fact, whenever he does one of these kind of, it's not always the greatest either, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into that shit. I'll be like, yo, get me another 10-piece of them nuggets while you're there, and like put a Baconator and some fries in there for me. Like, don't just fucking feed the illegal aliens you're bringing with you, and make sure you get rid of them because I don't want that around.
So very quickly, Mystic Shorts. There's quite a bit of cameraman lore that sometimes only exists as like secondhand sources. Like there are a number of there's an untold story of cameraman sightings along the eastern seaboard. Evidently, he's really good at those at like bull riding because he's top heavy. So he just has to like straighten up and square his shoulders out. So
I wonder if he has a spine because he would have gotten whiplash a long time ago.
I'd like to know a lot of things about cameraman. You know, like he's unbeaten in fiddle contests. He can't square dance, but he's really good at judging square dance competitions.
You know what he's actually really good at? He does puzzles perfectly.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like,
Perfectly. Like he can identify every piece of the puzzle when the puzzle is out, and he just knows where they go.
Right. And you could even ask him specific questions, and he'll tell you this is where the Washington Monument goes in the fucking backdrop of the DC
you give him
puzzle.
two like full black pieces in a black backdrop, and he's like, no, like you hand him one, he's like, not that one, you fucking idiot, and like it's. I love puzzles, and you can't do them with him because he just like starts putting it together, and it's like, oh,
like we had to stop taking him places because like he would do things like, oh, there's a Rubik's cube, and he'll start doing it, or like, oh, like there's a unfinished, like the very fact that like he sensed there was a puzzle box in the closet underneath the linens, and he will open up the closet door and dump it out and just start assembling things.
Yeah, pretty good with it.
Cameraman reads the phone book in his spare time.
He might. I don't know where he found a phone book, but he might.
Can you put it back on you in the Oswald assassination? Come on. Come on.
I don't want to.
Come on.
It's not going to look good in the background.
There you go. No. Wait. You shut your poor mouth.
Because it's the way it's the browser thing.
Okay, I got my fill.
It's really good though.
So,
oh man, where were we? I'm gonna.
So many Coens. Cameraman reads the. So many. More chins than Chinatown. Hi-yo. All right.
I'm gonna slide over here real quick.
That is the 1,000 subscriber goal. Dedicated chronicler of cameraman.
1,000 subscriber goal is to let us stream on YouTube. Hand me a lighter and just confirm that I'm off camera.
All right, so Monoxis is up. This is what we're gonna do. All right, give me your mask.
I have multiple masks right there.
Okay, no, fine. You want to keep the mask on?
I'm not keeping it on. I'm just saying like that.
No, we have to confirm for people that he's gone. All right.
I'm gone.
So you see, hold on. Hold on.
You can put it on like on top of the shit bag.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That better?
Yeah, much better. All right.
I can't see from here.
Could you give me more Jesus juice?
We're out of Jesus juice.
Oh, okay.
I have some other Jesus juice. You want some other Jesus juice?
Well, listen, the kind of Jesus juice we were earlier having was World Line. So Monoxus like a fucking goon. Oh Jesus Christ! All right, that's not Jesus juice. That's more like Buddha juice.
I don't know what to drink. It's what I drink.
All right, look. You see what you've gotten me into, chat? All right, so listen. So he shows up with like all these cards, and I picked, and evidently all of these cards represented a different kind of Jesus juice. So much like picking albums, I just mostly picked it on the fucking cover art. So like there was no cover art, and he shows up with this, and I'm like, World Line. So fine, we're gonna have World Line that resembles the World Tree in Dragon Warrior 3.
I mean, to be fair, there is the art on the other side.
Yeah, and then there's the art on the other side, which is some ridiculous
pretty
fucking
cool, yeah.
this quantum mechanic. Quantum? Haha! Quantum! Go to Clint and milk your wife. Quantum!
Quantum.
So, oh, nice. It fucking zoomed in. Good. All right. So, World Line is the Jesus juice of choice, and evidently...
Can you see the smoke on camera?
You cannot. Blackberry, black currant, vanilla, and black pepper. And what the fuck? Serve temperature 60 to 65 degrees. I'm not supposed to put this in the fucking fridge?
Most wine you don't really. You know how like wine cellars don't. I mean, some of them are cooled. I guess that's fair.
Are you supposed to put hooch in the fridge?
I feel like most alcohol, short of like beer, doesn't get stored in a cool. Like in like a cold environment, it can be cool. Like wine is usually cool environments. Beer is cold. Liquor is just straight on the cabinet because typically the mixtures you're making are cooled.
Right.
Or you add ice, shake it, cool it down, get rid of the fucking ice. Depending on what you're drinking.
Ah, okay. So, the cooling it and getting rid of the ice gag, though, like, that is some skilled special shit I usually don't have patience for. But, you
Some
know.
people like watered down drinks as well. There are some whiskeys that were like the recommended way to drink it is to put like a single ice cube into it and let that ice cube melt. And they even say like the dimensions of the ice cube should be. So it's like there's a perfect amount of
Really?
that should be put into that like whiskey. I think it might be bourbon. I think whatever whiskey bourbon. Like,
Oh, really quickly, you know what was a big disappointment for me? I tried a whiskey sour, and I was expecting it to be sour, and it wasn't. It was sweet, and I thought that was bullshit. And the only reason I tried it is because there is a Simpsons episode where Bart ends up working at the burlesque house, all right? And it turns out the burlesque house had been there for like fucking generations. So anyways, Bart's working the front door, and Grandpa Simpson shows up. And of course, he's like kind of startled. And then he realizes, oh, it's Bart. And he's like, yeah, I'll have a whiskey sour. And he hangs his hat up. So, like, that's the... I mean, like, God damn it, Grandpa Simpson. What the fuck are you drinking?
whiskey sours are fun. What do you mean?
They're sweet. They're fucking overly sweet, like Minashevitz.
It depends on who makes it, because there's a way to make a whiskey sour where it's basically just whiskey and lemon juice.
Really?
Pretty much.
Oh, so evidently I've been missing out. I'm sorry for talking shit, Grandpa Simpson. Yeah, although, you know, you did still kind of drop the ball. I put my homemade cider in the fridge. Ooh, dare.
Cider probably, yeah.
What's that cider taste like? What are you making it with? Apple, pear, peach? You let me know.
But yeah, like, if it was super sweet, somebody probably went mad hard on the simple syrup. Or they used grenadine, and, like, basically they put too much sweetener. There should be a little bit of sweetener in it. It's mostly lemon juice.
Right.
I mean, like, you usually put, like, cherries into it.
Right. And then, but isn't there, like, a specific kind of cherry you use for cocktails?
Maraschino cherries?
Because, like, I don't think you could just take straight up fucking cherries from the supermarket,
like
right?
Maraschino, like the jarred, whatever they're soaked in cherries. I think whiskey sours can also have egg whites in them. And if you have the egg whites in them, they're even better. If you had a whiskey sour that didn't have egg white in it, they made it wrong.
Wow.
To make it frothy. So...
I've been missing out.
Yeah, you need to get a good whiskey sour. If anything, you gotta go to Mosaic over on 23rd, what's it, 23rd Avenue?
Ah.
24th Avenue.
Okay.
They make amazing drinks. Or Dutch Kills, but I think Dutch Kills is closing.
Yeah, alright, listen, look, you're gonna have to get your F's ready for Dutch Kills when it does close. Oh, although your hand is on camera, so, like... Well, you can't tell where it's going, all right? Come on, Kool-Aider. You're slipping. You should have stated the obvious here. It tastes tart. I use apple juice and cider yeast. Ferment 2 weeks, bottled in fridge. More sugar equals more alcohol.
Yeah. I used to ferment my own apple cider. I had like the gallon jugs they sell for like the water cooling units, like the little tap water.
Yeah.
So we used to have that for a while. We got rid of it, but I still had the fucking jug, and I was like, we're not using it. No one's getting it refilled. I just ended up filling it with like the juices, and then like add yeast, more sugar, seal it up, and let it sit, and then it fermented. I got crunk off my own cider.
How did it taste?
It was fine. I later learned that there's a process that you can go through with that where you can get bacteria introduced, which I didn't do because I followed the steps properly, and it causes botulism. So if you make homemade cider wrong, botulism. So
kind of like if you can your own food wrong and you do it wrong, botulism.
Yeah, be very careful with that kind of shit. There's a reason why we have standards for that and, like, you know, overseeing bodies to make sure you don't fucking get yourself killed.
There's a reason the USDA wants you to buy food that's already canned and not, come on, like, if you can your own food and you get botulism, that's kind of on you.
It is on you. It's 100% on you.
Although, like, it is, like, have you ever seen, like, cans in the supermarket that are, like, super bloated and extended?
Yeah.
Like, that's, like...
internal pressure is just like, yeah, don't touch those.
That's what happens when you fuck up canned food.
Throw that shit out.
I ain't afraid of the bot. No, listen, Dare. God damn it, come on. Stop picking a fight with, like, AI, algorithm, random-driven bullshit. Before you know it, Dare is just gonna start, like, picking fights with, like, search algorithms.
Oh, well, by the way.
Just driving across every library in America, typing in the most random shit.
We've been nothing but tangent. Is it tangential? Go off tangent this whole time? I don't know if tangential worked for that.
Monthus Burwa. What's good, homie?
But what else were we gonna talk about? Or anything that you want to talk about currently, unless you want to just keep going off tangent.
Oh, so let me just finish up the picture, put up the photo, and I'll tell you the
picture up.
Come on. Just put the picture up.
I'll put the picture up.
Punch a server rack, no gloves. No, the stuff, not that picture. The fucking...
Not that one?
The fucking gallery picture. Here we go. All right. So, like, story time. All right. So, Roman, if you're watching, this story is explicitly for you, and everyone else is here for the ride. All right. So, Roman crashes an art gallery, and I come through, and he asked me to bring the mask. And I, you know, like, why shouldn't I be wearing the mask in public more often? So, we go to this art gallery, and these two people, one of them being the fucking Paris Hilton lookalike with the fucking resting bitch face and the sunglasses.
You're probably blocking her.
And just no, she's the one with the fucking shitty sunglasses.
Hand my mask.
All right.
Gibbs Max.
So we go to this gallery, and like some of the stuff in the gallery is actually really nice, all things considered. Okay. So
Aren't those galleries nice?
On the way, no. On the way there, we meet up with fucking like Thelma, much less than most. We meet up with Thelma and her homie, Matthew Napoli, who is an excellent sculptor and painter, by the way. This motherfucker was wearing an insect warfare shirt, so I immediately knew he was more than okay. And of course, I was like, dude, Noise Grind Power Death is their best album. And he's like, fucking totally. And then he goes, because after seeing my flyers, he goes, are you on Instagram? And I'm like, you know, and that ended up becoming the turning point when I did cave in and make an Instagram. So I could put all the pictures on the things with the hashtag, all right? So the evening progresses, and eventually Roman is like, hey, dude, you should put on your mask. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should. Hilarity ensues, and some people were really keen to it. Some people were just like, ooh, I'm just going to pretend I wasn't taking a picture when you make eye contact with me. A couple of people were receptive to, like, what's your deal? And I'm like, yeah, subscribe to 718TV. Here's a flyer. I'm going to continue talking to this person. I was having a conversation. You fucking puercos tu nada. You know what I mean? So, here's where the story takes a turn. A very pleasant turn, and then it all crashes.
I'm going to bring two masks to those parties. I'm going to wear this mask, and I'm going to put the Mr. Karate one over it. So when it's just like, boys, you take the mask off.
That would be the ultimate reveal. So, that's right, Danger. Walking advertisement. So, eventually, it starts to get packed and crowded, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have a breath of stale air, and I'm going to go step outside to the fire escape where people are commiserating at, and I'm going to have this breath of stale air with Roman, best known as Bad Post Roman for the people who are hip to the internets. Otherwise, you could find him at Roman D'Ambrosio, writing plays all up in your shit, like, his movie's premiering, check it out.
Really?
Yes, he wrote and directed a short film, and he's a man of many talents. He's gotten art commissioned and sold. He's gotten plays performed. Hell, he wrote a one-act play for the Super Predator Capitol Hill update, Guerrilla Days. It is a one-act play.
Oh, okay, so him, yeah. Gotcha.
You can't fuck with Roman D'Ambrosio
I didn't
because
realize that was the same person, but okay.
you will watch what he writes and you will like it. So, I'm having this breath of stale air with him. So I exit the gallery, and now I'm in the fire escape. And there are these two women talking, and one, like, she's kind of busted. I'm not gonna lie. Her friend, however, was just gorgeous. And maybe I have a soft spot for bitches with short hair, but bitches with short hair are kind of like dudes with long hair. All right, like anyone, or like dudes with facial hair. Anyone can grow it or cut it that way, but it doesn't look good on everyone.
I love short hair on women.
So,
Love it.
so, and she was wearing like a crop top, so very clearly she either works out or never eats. I don't know, but she looked healthy, so it was like, hey, you do crunches, all right? So,
Okay.
maybe she fucking runs. I don't know,
Maybe she
but
starves herself.
maybe
Maybe she has anorexia.
maybe she lives off of Virginia Slims and cocaine. I don't know,
She
but
eats nothing but cheese.
but
In small amounts.
How come French women never get fat? I don't think I've ever seen a fat French woman.
It's hard to eat when you're smoking cigarettes.
No,
seriously.
and cheating on your husband.
To be fair, like there's like I think it was Christian Bale, Machinist. He was like, I just like smoke cigarettes and ate apples, and it was like, yeah,
Touche.
cigarettes kill your appetite.
I did not know that.
Well, I think so many people are like, I mean, I know people where they're like, yeah, when I'm at work, I just take a smoke break and I'm not hungry, like I don't go for lunch. And it's like, because you're smoking a cigarette, it's killing your appetite.
Whoa, okay, whoa, listen, what gets people through the day is beyond my function and understanding, okay? But there's like a busted lady and her like gorgeous friend, all right?
Hey,
So-
there you go.
There you go. Smoking isn't sexy because oral fixation. It's sexy because it's French. Ah, all right. Roman. So listen, we had earlier fucked up the hot chips. All right. We're saving these for later. All right. So, the hot chips, however, like, and just to give you proof, we're gonna show you the carcass. All right. So,
There's probably more stuff in the carcass by now.
oh, that's fine. So listen, the carcass is right here, and let it be known, we had said this earlier, but this is
And,
courtesy of Roman, courtesy of Bad Post Roman, and he had bought this all the way from Trap, and you could find them on. And then we have this, and then we.
Because I took a nice deep breath with a spicy chip in my mouth.
And then we have this, and you can find Trap at 297 Broadway, and they're in Brooklyn. And it's not just foreign snacks, and it's not just drinks from overseas. All right,
It's
they
like
also do.
limited edition shit.
They also do clothing. Yes.
Well, like I said, I'm probably gonna swing by just to check out the clothes.
So
I'm in the market for some new clothing.
we're on this fire escape, and like Roman. All right. This was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life because it proved to me a lot of the presumptions I had built my worldview on, okay? So we're on the fire escape, and we're burning, all right? So, like, kind of decent looking girl is, like, with her, like, really hot friend with the short hair and the blue eyes, and it turns out she was from Boston, and we're talking, and it's like, oh, massholes, and, like, Sweet Caroline, bum, 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 and Dunkin' Donuts, and, hey, a basic bitch mode, talk about The Departed. Hard mode, talk about The Town. Starring John Hamm and
See,
Rebecca
I would
Hall,
have
I
talked
think.
about my trip to Boston,
Right!
which highlights included the amazing aquarium, absolutely amazing. The little waterway tour where they sound off the cannonball, they fake fire a cannon. The gorgeous city, and the insane amount of shit-faced homeless people who are more than friendly with the locals.
Yes.
Also,
And by the
they're
way-
immaculate trains.
And by the way, let it be known, all right?
Boston's got some like compared to our shit.
The T line,
Oh,
it's a different world. Also, but their shit closes at 12. One's on the weekends.
Yes, but it runs incredibly smoothly. It's very clean and it's very efficient. Ours is inefficient, does not run smoothly, is disgusting. People are living on it. It smells like pee half the time, but it does run all day.
And it's 24 hours.
Yeah, so you know.
Hey, we're number one. We're number one. So, I'm talking to because Roman was busy talking to like these two ladies, being the charming, affable, chatty gentleman that he is. So I'm talking with Busted Lady and her ridiculously beautiful friend. So I'm talking, and eventually, I forget the name of the DJ, but Roman knew a DJ who was leaving the United States, and I believe he was moving to Berlin. And I forgot if it was, I mistook him for someone else. And then Roman corrected me, and he was like, oh no, that's someone else. This guy's a DJ. He's moving to Berlin. And I'm like, why is he moving to Berlin? And Roman goes, oh, he's just a lib who hates America. And I swear to you, gorgeous, flawless, short-haired with the blue eyes and this immaculate, radiant aura and her busted friend looked at one another and fucking mentally checked out and were like, so have a nice evening, fellas. All right. And that's it. And I hadn't laughed that hard in a long fucking time. Because it's sort of like, wow, that was every Twitter interaction rolled into one.
I mean, to be fair, they basically made a hard judgment off of one statement.
Oh, off of just one, like these.
Well, to be fair, those people, you don't want to engage them anyway.
Right, because if they're gonna be this morose over, like less than 10 words, my God.
Off of the statement, butthurt lip.
So, right? No. A lib who hates America.
But like butthurt lip.
That's
Ass that lip.
Whatever, we party till 7 a.m. They're lost. Roman, you son of a bitch. Listen, it should be noted that Roman hails from Detroit, and he is now permanently occupying the theater district and has probably beheaded 3 off-Broadway directors somewhere in the city. So, Roman, good looks and thanks for tuning in. I was going to harass you when the stream was over to let you know that, yes, this is when we eat the things from Trap. Although, Monoxus did open the Ghost Chip pepper bag, and it kind of fucked us up.
I got a little ahead of myself. I really want to eat those chips.
Can you put the picture up again?
Yeah.
Because that ended up leading to this. Okay.
Right. So that brings us to...
So that more or less covers current events. And,
real quick, I just want to touch on... since we're streaming on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch, thank you. Because Twitch decided that girls who stream nothing but a view of their butt and those weird audio devices that make it sound like they're in your ears and then like lick it or like fart into it or like rub it on their genitals. Twitch was like, if your face isn't on camera and you're not engaging the audience, you're getting fucking banned. So thank you, Twitch, for, you know what, hot tub streamers, at least there's a 1-to-1. But they were like, if you're just like licking a thing for like 2 hours and perverts and coomers are sending you money, get the fuck out of here. So current events, thank you, Twitch. At least you're meeting us halfway.
Patrolled! That's right. You see, Kool-Aider, Thought Patrol begins up here.
I appreciate Twitch even taking the consideration of being like, no.
So by the way, that picture... was taken by Roman. You could find him in chat, by the way, Bad Post Roman. You can find him on Instagram at Bad Post Roman. And you could also find him on the superpredator.zone. Capitol Hill update. He wrote Gorilla Days. It will fuck your shit up.
Alright.
So
that covers the current events, right?
I'd like to discuss the middle class going extinct.
Or the weather.
The weather.
Which one's on top of your head right now? Which one's weighing down?
Okay.
on you?
Let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. Let us discuss the weather. I think that would be kind of neat.
Oh, so you want to go weather first?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to get us started then, because the weather's been pretty fucking... I mean, over here in New York, let me not get too out of position because it's going to fuck the camera up. The weather here has been wild. And I think we've talked about this before, the whole, like, 4 seasons are dead. This man is spilling all over my table.
You saw nothing.
I saw it. No, I saw it. All right. I don't know if that means you want some of the other spirit.
I would like the Buddha juice, please.
Actually, here's what we're going to do, because we have to get ice for that.
All right.
I'm going to hit the intermission screen.
All right.
None of you go anywhere. I don't think I've got to use the screen yet. I hope the audio works. We'll be back in 2-3 minutes? 5 minutes?
A couple of minutes.
I'll say 5 minutes.
Okay.
But I want to use the intermission screen. It totally works.
So when you meet Monoxus in a gallery one of these days, he's going to have a mask of a mask reveal, all right?
I had the mask on the whole time. Thanks for all the intermission, love. I hope the music was nice. It was the chiller music of the 2 I downloaded. So there's like the intro, we're starting soon, and then there's the intermission, like chill stuff.
And the graphics are fucking out of this world.
Oh yeah, Emma killed it.
So Emma Graphics, you could find her on Twitter. She does excellent work. She also did work for El Primo, aka Madman Muzan.
Yeah,
she did work for him too. She does
really
great work.
good too. And according Danger, the real reason for intermission is because the stream went more off the rails than usual. Need a reset. Technically, before we started, we were like, current events is going to take like 2 hours today.
Yeah.
Like, that's why even the selection of how many things we're going to talk about was like, let's like shorten it. Because like the weather, we'll go into that. It's not super intensive.
Right.
Like, this is the first time in my life I've ever gone out in the summer in the morning and been like, yo, it's crazy hot. And on the way back home at night, I'm like, I'm fucking freezing.
Right. And then we have these really weird moments where like, not only is it fucking freezing once it goes dark, but then there's that period where like right before 10 in the morning, it's like, it's still like high 60s, low 70s out there.
Yeah.
And then it just gets cranked to 11.
But yeah, so weather was going to be a short one. I mean, the middle class is probably going to take a little while.
Well, that's going to take some time, although I believe it's something that everyone can kind of agree on.
But no Danger. The plan was, technically we weren't even going to intermission, but I was like, I want to use the screen. I want to get ice for our water.
For our Buddha juice?
For our water. So we can drink our water cold. And I had some sausages cooking in the kitchen, so we had some sausage while we were at it.
And he got, listen, different kinds of sausage. You've got no clue, jerks.
Well, you missed most of the current events. McAfee dying and how he may or may not have a lot of dirt, and it's now going out because of a kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
A building going down in Miami that may or may not have been a controlled demolition because it looks very much like a controlled demolition.
Tied to
McAfee because that building may have been where the dirt was being held. Haynes met with some Twitter friends at I assume it was a club, but like kind of like bar club sort of.
Long story short, hung out with the buddy James. You could find him at the Bad Filmcast. He's on Twitter at MK Ultra Money. He's also the man behind Women Posting Their L's. So he's like, come through. We're gonna hang out with some Twitter people.
Version. Was that like a bar or a club or a restaurant?
Bar.
Pick the one that most describes it.
Bar that serves food. Bar live venue.
So live venue that has a bar and food. Got to meet Justin Wang. If you know who Justin Wang is, then the name already means something. But like,
stand-up guy, by the way.
Yeah, we're fans, and to meet him, you said was pretty cool. Which again, hopefully, I'm meeting him soon at another event. Also he crashed a art gallery with Bad Post Roman and had a good time there. That's the current events catch up. We also there was a lot of tangents in that, but anyway. That's the gist of what you missed, and the stream archive will exist if you really want to go check it out. I dunked on environmentalism a little bit again, even though I'm a big fan of it. I think it's stupid the way it's held. And we drank some grape juice.
So, and by the way, and if you missed any of this, you could always find the streams uploaded at youtube.com/718TV.
Except this past week where something horrible happened, and we don't know what happened, because the stream was fine when we uploaded it, and then there was no audio. It's up now, though, so that's been fixed.
So yeah, and it was a little terrifying to I remember the video was uploaded, and the first comment was no audio.
Well, luckily we also had the reviewing reviews with what's his name?
With Masked Bastard
went up, so that definitely padded our fuck up with the other video. So You know, it was nice that thankfully we had 2 things go up at once, and only one was a horrible nightmare mess up.
Although reviewing reviews, and by the way,
And to be fair, I sat down with Cameraman afterwards to look at the edit of it, and when we checked on YouTube, it had the audio track on there, but it wouldn't load it. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
really,
And then like we just went back and just did it again.
all right.
But it was there, and YouTube was like, "No, I'm not loading it."
So there was a reason for it,
Maybe
kind of.
because YouTube sucks, and no one should be using that platform if they're trying to build an audience.
You're not wrong.
YouTube is for shills.
But it's there. But it's there.
It's there for. I mean, once we get that 1,000, we'll be dual streaming. Ideally.
And we can hold it. And couldn't we like upload it to YouTube directly because we are streaming on YouTube?
I think it might just go to YouTube after that.
Amazing.
All right. The same way this like auto like Twitch just saves it. I'm pretty sure it could be set up so that YouTube will be like, no, we just save it.
So we have to get to 1,000 subscribers to make our job easier.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I think what do we have coming out this week? If I'm not mistaken,
Check your phone.
well, the check your phone behind the curtain. Those are super easy to get filmed because we just get like footage for them. So check your phone. What are we on? 14?
I think so.
Check your phone 14. Technically, we have 14 and 15 ready. I think because like we have the one from Green,
Right.
and then we have the one we recorded before that. We have a check your phone.
Right.
We gotta finish the graphic for the This Just In because like I still haven't sat down to figure out how to make that because like cameraman's edits aren't great, and I was like, I kind of want to have a moving background for the This Just In.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Business cat or unemployed cat.
Unemployment cat.
I think we have 2 unemployment cats, and then we have all the footage of cameraman getting dunked on for being fat, which is gonna be put into a video. Anyway, soon so. For now.
I look forward to getting cameraman onto the goddamn track and field. It's got to happen. All right.
I've had him there. We got to record it. Is the thing. We got to film that. It's hilarious. It's so much fun to watch him run.
So listen. I'm not saying I take like pleasure in knowing that cameraman is waddling around a track and field.
He's gotten better. He still collapses sometimes.
So real quickly, we wanted to discuss the weather because we have no idea what the weather is like in your neck of the woods. But here in New York City, we have okay. First of all, remember fucking 4 seasons, all right? And now we're in this really weird moment where like it'll be alarmingly hot and clear and beautiful and great blue sky, and there's hardly any humidity. And then you'll have some of those days, and then you'll have days where it's like gray and outcast, and you should have put deodorant on your balls the moment you step out the door, right? And then you have the occasion like, hey, it's 73 degrees out on a line.
I mean, what I've noticed so far, because we are officially in summer, like we should be getting nothing but summer weather, at least here. And feel free to let us know what the weather's like where you're from, because I'm sure we have a few people who are in like hotter climate areas. Right. So for us, there's been usually a rotation.
Looking at you, Florida and Indonesia.
The weirdest thing about the weather has been I wake up and I start my day and the AC needs to be on because it's fucking hot out. And that temperature just gets worse and worse as the day goes on.
Right.
But typically you don't get cold in the summer in New York. And I've been leaving the new job at night and it's fucking cold. Like, cold. Like, why haven't I packed a jacket cold? And it's fucking June.
Yep.
Which is unreal. Other than that, we've also been having ridiculous humidity. Like, I'm sure you've noticed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, okay, first of all, there have been days where people are wearing hoodies outside and it's not dark yet. Like, why was today cold?
Yeah.
But then, like, we've yet to reach peak summer. I mean, we've had it easy so far now.
Oh,
like,
this is going to be disgusting.
July and August is going to be this sweltering, fucking disgusting mess.
Yeah.
I am. Well, here's the thing, though. I can't avoid it, but I can't say I'm looking forward to it. But I can't avoid it. It's just
not at all.
So.
Oh, and you know what? You remember, like, what was it? I have I should have the exact date because I took a fucking video of it. We had hail recently.
Yep.
Hail.
Yeah.
Like a random hailstorm out of fucking nowhere. What day was that? I don't even fucking remember. Like, is this dated? Can I get the info on this? Let's go. Details. So June 4th. June 4th. Middle of the fucking day. Like it's been overcast all day, and I was like, oh, it's gonna fucking rain. Like there's no question. You could smell it in the air where it's like it's about to fucking pour. Sky goes black, hail for like 20 straight minutes, just hailing.
Mm-hmm.
Transitions to like almost tropical style thunderstorm, just constant downpour of rain, lightning, and then I think like couldn't have been more than 35, 40 minutes. Gone.
But the tropical
Full sun, hot.
But the tropical thunderstorm was like waves of rain
Yes.
that were like co-current and on
Yeah.
top of one another.
On and off. But hail into just disgusting tropical style rain, and then it went away. Sun. Like that never fucking happens here. Never.
Bro, it was hail in June. Come on.
Yeah, we don't get that. I mean, to be fair though, I guess technically like Texas got like weird hail and snow in recent years. So, I mean, granted, this is all just nonsense. Kool-Aid, that's like every day here from 4 to 6. The hail? Or just the gross weather?
Or is it the fucking waves of rain and fucking gray outcast?
Oh, no. Yeah, from what I understand, Florida gets like weird waves of rain like that. Like, it just kind of rains and goes away. Because,
Right.
like, you know, we have a mutual homie who lived in Florida, and I was like, yeah, it's rain. And then it stops, and it's like, okay, I guess we're done raining today. 2 hours later, rain for like 20 minutes.
It's
gone. Like disgusting rain. Danger. In England, it's calm for their change in 20 minutes, but hail in summer is certainly weird. England's another one of those ones where like I've always heard, I've never seen any footage of it, but I've heard that England just has like inconsistent, like it's raining, it's not raining, it's raining, it's not raining, it's raining, it's not raining, and you just get bursts of it.
Also, I'm not sure if anyone watching is from Dixie, but like every once in a while you'll get stories, like you're right, or like Texas will sometimes get like golf ball sized hail out of nowhere in the middle of like April, which is like we're done with winter. Why are you even here?
See, but that's the thing. I've always heard about that happening specifically in Texas. Texas is one of the places where I hear like they have just random hailstorms. I'm sure it happens elsewhere, but from here I always hear Texas. New York, like you don't get hail unless it's cold out.
Right.
New York, like in the summer, you get hot, dry days and humid, rainy days, and that's it. And there's usually never like any jumping between them.
No, there's no middle point because here in New York City, it's mostly concrete. There's
China controlling the weather.
It's because it's mostly concrete and there's no nature. There's no trees to insulate the warm and the cold. That's why you have nothing but extremes, especially in the summer. Like there's nothing to how do you put it? Kind of like in Chicago. Chicago winters tend to be either incredibly fucking cold or really cold and it snows. It snows because like there's almost hardly any nature around it. Well, in it.
Well, the cities, yeah.
Right. So, but here though, like hail in the summer is kind of bizarre, and we're gonna end up getting like if not this summer, next summer we're gonna have the equivalent of like a monsoon season. And like, hey, the last 2 hurricanes we had fucked everything up.
Yeah. In fact, the last couple of years we've had, because I remember hurricanes growing up where it was like, oh, there's a hurricane coming up the East Coast. And then like here in New York it was always like, ha, you mean rain. Like New York always just got rain. And It was like, it's going to be a really fucking rainy day. I think 2 in a row we've had where like power lines are like dragged out of the ground, trees blown over, buildings destroyed. Like, we have officially reached the point where hurricanes from the southern end of the East Coast get here and like they're causing damage. And I've grown up my entire life never even worrying about a hurricane until recent years where it's like, no, they fuck shit up now. It's getting real bad.
Well, it's worse than usual, even though like, listen.
Do you remember Astoria Park after the last hurricane?
Trashed.
It got destroyed. There are still trees that they had to just get rid of them. Like there's no just cut it down, destroy it, I guess like chip it, and then now there's just giant stumps of these huge, what I can only imagine were ancient trees. These things were massive, and then now they're just stumps because a storm came down and was like, fuck you.
But it was all over, not just here, but like all over the city, and no one ever brings up that like half of Staten Island got straight up flooded.
Yeah, got ruined.
It was bizarre because
Places like Bayside, like where they actually have bodies of water. I mean, like we got super lucky with the river here, but to be fair, the park got decimated. Like there was shit all over this area that got fucked up. It just we didn't get power outages or anything like that.
we got lucky because even in like Manhattan, like south of 34th Street, taxi drivers wouldn't drive down.
Yeah.
Because like that's where you entered this weird world map territory where like some streets are
Flooded or like downed everything.
and there's like weird alternate routes where you have to drive around things because there are no straight lines anymore.
Yeah.
And like all the way down to like Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
And Chinatown kind of got lucky because like part of it flows downhill and then
Shit.
it emptied out.
In the winter, we even got an actual fucking snowstorm for once. I don't think it broke the record because like the record is like from like what 97, 98, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think it broke the record, but we finally got a snowstorm
it was horrendous.
that shut the city down for a while. Like preparation did nothing. They actually had to be like, chill. There's too much snow. Like no, like the weather is. We're back to just having crazy fucking weather in New York.
Well, I don't want to say nature is healing, but kind of.
I'd say it's the other way around because this part of the world map has always had like when we got crazy weather here, it was years apart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a hurricane comes up, we get rain for year after year after year after year, and sometimes it's bad enough where it's like, oh, Long Island got it because like they're just fucking in a bad spot during hurricanes. But even they were fine for a long time.
Right.
Now every hurricane that comes by, Long Island's like pissing their pants. Every hurricane. It doesn't matter. Because like, no, every hurricane's been bad. Snowstorms were always like, how many times have you heard like, oh, there's snow coming and the mayor's going to shut the city down because of snow? And you're like, fuck you, dude. It never gets that bad. It hasn't gotten that bad since the 90s.
Who do you think you are?
And this year we finally had one where it was like, yo, it hasn't gotten that bad since the 90s. And then it was that bad.
And now we have a new metric of measurement, which was like last winter.
Yeah. I mean, it still didn't beat the record. I'm not
No,
mistaken.
but
it's
it
that
did
bad.
it did shut the city down.
Yes.
And it was strange to see. It was strange to see things like even the garbage wasn't being picked up.
Mm-hmm. For a while.
And then you started seeing. Okay, now granted, it wasn't as severe as last year, but a couple of years ago, there was like a snowstorm, and it dumped like 11 inches of snow in the span of like less than 48 hours.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, and this dude tried to kill himself by jumping off the roof of his building, and he ended up landing on like all this snow, packing all this garbage that wasn't picked up. So, anyways, like these
That's
things,
kind of funny.
right?
That's
Like
kinda funny.
these things kind of happen from time to time. All right, but what happened last year? The city, like there was a period of time where none of the trains or buses were running. It was sort of like 18th century people walking through the middle of the road with no. I was expecting like a horse-drawn carriage to walk by because there were so many like bodies on the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seemed very out of place, but there were mad people on the street sometimes.
Yeah.
Like regardless of the city shutting down, like people were out. People
I
were.
mean, let's be fair. Like when the city shut down because of COVID, like I was walking around. City shutting down in New York means nothing. It's literally just it's words that they throw out to be like, if something happens during this time, like we're not liable.
Right. Although
It's a liability statement.
Although this is an excellent segue to the middle class going extinct, because when the city shut down, all right,
Sure. Okay.
So
I'm gonna
when-
say I don't see it, but go ahead.
when the city shut down because of Chinese lung herpes,
COVID. What are we on? Well, was it COVID Alpha? Because they gave it.
we're now up to like COVID Delta.
Well, Delta's the new strain, but they gave it like Greek numerical whatever. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't even.
I don't know what 19 is. I'm assuming it's the Alpha.
We're gonna be up to like COVID 26 in like October.
No, we're gonna get COVID Omega, and it's gonna kill everyone.
Well, just take the vaccine. Ugh.
COVID Omega is just gonna be like, I don't give a shit about vaccines. In fact, I make your head explode.
COVID 11 makes scanners.
Yeah, basically, the last form of COVID just blows your head up. Don't get it. The second it gets into your system, it goes straight to the brain and pops it.
Oh my God! Imagine like you're at like a fucking like baseball game, and it's gonna bottom of the seventh, and then Henry Rodriguez up to bat for the Mets, and some dude in the background, his head pops like a fucking zit, like bang, and now
everyone,
and now all of his explodey juice
Yeah,
ends up on people,
and they're just
then
like, oh my God.
and then like some of them,
Yeah.
and like people are running away from the people covered in explodey juice that
Trying
have
to not get explodey juice so they don't explode.
and it's like one of the highlights on Sports Center too, like.
Yeah. So COVID Omega is going to cause scanners level head explosions. It'll be highly contagious.
So
don't go near anyone.
Real quickly, danger goes. In England, it really rains for the whole day, but there's a 40% chance for it to rain at some point. So there's like a 1/3. There's more than a 1/3 chance every day it's gonna rain. All right.
That's like Seattle here, though.
That's kind of
Like we have that. We have that in Seattle.
yeah. You're not wrong.
It just kind of rains.
Or like, Portland, parts of the Pacific Northwest, really,
the
like.
Northwest in general.
But like Washington State, really, not just Seattle. But Seattle is like right by the sea, so they get it
Seattle is
even more.
known for it. But that's also the city. You know what I mean? I'm sure the regions around there, like I'm sure there's a small town where it's like, yeah, it fucking rains here all the time too. No one fucking talks about it because everyone's like, well, Seattle, it rains all the time.
Right.
Because it's the major city.
Danger goes, I mean, it's not that accurate, but you get the idea. Oh, no, fine. Then you know what, Danger? In England, there's no determinate length of how long it's going to rain. But every day in England, there's a 1/3 chance it's going to rain. 1 out of 3. Are you willing to take those chances? You willing to take those odds, Danger? So, this is an excellent transition to the middle class going extinct because while the blizzard shut down the city, Chinese lung herpes shut down the city. We here at 718 TV, we reside in New York City, specifically Queens, all right? So we don't know what it was like in your neck of the woods. But there were a number of businesses that, like, remember in, like, March, April, May, and they were like, all right, we're closing, we'll be back in a month. And, like, not many of them have opened back up.
Depends on where you go. Our neighborhood survived. And when I say our neighborhood, I mean the financial district of our neighborhood.
Right.
I don't know how well everyone did living around here, like residentially. The neighborhood financial area lived on perfectly fine.
Right.
Because I'm assuming either, like a lot of them either were starting up pre-pandemic and everything just kind of went on pause.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't any, like, you know, exchanges of money. It's like, no,
Right.
there's a pandemic. No one's charging anyone anything. Or they got, like, the government assistance and stayed open. I know a few places that were about to shut down. I guess they didn't for whatever reason, but they were about to. Places I like to go to, who I saw, like, as soon as we could go back to them, to, you know, I mean, like, I was ordering out from places I liked the whole time that were allowed to stay open.
Oh, and by the way, gas stations, bodegas, and 7-Elevens have been making, and supermarkets that have managed to stay open have been making money hand over fist.
Which, like, off topic from the middle class thing, I've always thought it was interesting that they were like, listen, supermarkets, bodegas, 7-Elevens. Places where you get food, right?
Gas stations, too.
That count too, but like gas stations is more about the cars.
All right.
Because like essential workers still have to drive.
Right.
We can't shut down gas stations because we shut down the trains and the buses. So you have to get to work.
All right, that's a fair point.
But places where you can get food to go, were like, y'all can stay open, no problem. But they didn't consider, like, what about fast food places? Like, why are you shutting them down? They can run their entire business model as a to-go. Some, like a pizzeria could be like, take the fucking tables and chairs out. You can only get to go.
In fact,
and one person can run the counter.
In fact, some and most businesses, if not all, ended up figuring out curbside delivery, or like if you order it, like okay, like
that was
through the door. They're like, here you go.
That was
here you go.
Way later. Initially, it was like food, like survival. Like supermarkets made sense because like people have to eat.
Right.
But 7-Eleven and bodegas always confuse me because it's like those are not necessities. If supermarkets exist, you just bring your own shit from home. Right. Those are like on the go.
Oh well, okay, but okay. So, but herein lies this strange.
So why doesn't Dunkin' fit into that?
Okay, so here. Okay, that is an excellent question, and I can't answer that. All right.
Well, that's why I was confused.
Because
it made no sense.
There was this really weird period of time where like you could find pictures in like April where it's like you see somebody in like a stuffed like a mascot outfit for like
and they had to work,
and they were like how the fuck am I considered an essential employee?
Yeah.
Like taking selfies in the bathroom, and like there's many more than one of them.
Yeah.
It's bewildering. So things that were considered essential. Well, here's the thing though. What kind of business category is a 7-Eleven or a bodega operating as, which allows them?
Well, the only way I rationalize
Because there's like real estate law, there's tax law, the IRS.
I'm sure that's
what kind
how
of business you
yeah,
filed.
I'm sure that's how it gets, like how the government decided.
Mm-hmm.
But logically, like, motherfuckers live out of 7-Elevens. Like, we're talking, they go to work, they get their coffee, their breakfast, they go to work, they get out, they go to a 7-Eleven, they get their lunch.
Let's try this. Hey, FYI, this came from Trap, all right? And you can find Trap all the way at Brooklyn at 297 Broadway, all right? You heard it here first. We're going to have the chili mega chips.
You can also apparently get those in Texas, because Montes, I believe, said that those are a go-to for him.
Really?
Yeah. So I imagine these are just like a normal thing. But
let us know, homie.
Motherfuckers live out of bodegas and 7-Elevens.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine that's why it happened.
This is kind of exquisite as far as potato chips go.
That's deceptive.
You would have fooled me.
Why is it sweet?
I
know why it's sweet.
I mean, that you could have fooled me. I wouldn't have picked this up on my own, but this is actually really good.
Chili mango.
Mm-mm.
That sweet is throwing me off so much.
It doesn't make sense, and it shouldn't make sense.
Chips aren't sweet.
But these are kind of ridiculous.
They're good. You know, hot chip.
Well,
But they're tasty.
this is what This is what Hawaiian pizza wishes it could be. So,
You got a lot of hate for pineapple pizza.
all right, I'm just saying.
But
We
in
really.
terms of middle class, 'cause we kind of talk about quarantine a little bit, but I recently had to discuss because there are border issues happening still. And the border is going to be a thing that we're not going to stop talking about for a long time. And ultimately, opening borders affects one class of people. And with the middle class shrinking constantly, it affects the lower bracket of people.
Right.
That lower class, lower to middle class, and what's left of the middle class. Right? What I think is interesting is that the same people who have an ideology of opening borders, diversity is our strength, open arms acceptance of people who are going to essentially enter the lower class.
Right.
For the most part. There are exceptions here and there. Some people come in here and they've
I like what he's saying so far.
got backgrounds and they work their way into a higher tier, because like I'm not going to say everyone coming from like south of the border or from out of countries like you're all a bunch of lower class workers. A lot of them are, because they're fleeing poor conditions with no training or education to get a better life. With the rare exception of someone's like, nah, I'm about to go be a scientist. Okay. Fine. But there are people who are like, let everyone in. Open arms, because they have a better quality of life here. Those same people also don't like the corporate structure and capitalism as a whole.
Right.
Now, who benefits the most from foreign workers coming in and taking up lower class jobs?
The board of directors.
The capitalists.
Of the board of directors of any Fortune 500 company. And even, you know what the creepy part about the measurement of wealth is? That when we talk about the Dow Jones and we talk about the stock market, all right? The Dow Jones is basically like, it is not a very good measurement. Well, okay, it's a good point of direction and frame of reference, but the Dow Jones are basically like the top 20, top 25 most valuable stocks in which way their arrows go up or down. Now, granted, that has nothing like, and sometimes, thank you.
Yep.
So sometimes their arrows going up and down can directly affect other arrows going up and down, and it's this nonsensical cycle that resumes every single day no matter what. So, apart from all of the things outside, the Dow Jones is only, it's sort of like how on Twitter only like 17% of people on Twitter create like 80% of the discourse or more.
Yeah.
Like it's like that. Like these, it's so.
That top down.
So, these are now considered like old institutions because now the barrier to entry is that much greater than it was than before.
Sure.
Which is one of the reasons why there was a brief period of time, and I think some of the usual gang of idiots on the internet still cry about this, but it was as if like they were, like the perpetually offended types on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
It's not just on Twitter, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So they were all like,
There are people who are just perpetually offended.
crypto's bad for the planet and it's bad for the environment, and it's like, and it's very strange because like, look, for what it's worth, all right, realistically speaking, cryptocurrency is one of the few remaining game genie codes left you could play in Meat Space, the FPS MMORPG where like PvP is on 24/7 and it's great resolution, and there's the vested interest because we have like a 5 to 10 year window before there's like a federal government branch of like we're overseeing crypto because this has gotten too big for everyone to even begin to manage. In fact, I'm surprised that whole pipeline ransom thing was kind of sort of resolved. Because they were like, hey, the Grand Bitcoin Ledger, and hey, we're the government, and then there you go. And they didn't even return the Bitcoin. That's the part that, you see?
Okay.
They didn't even return the Bitcoin.
Either way, point was, these bigger corporate entities, these capitalist folks, the ones who benefit from it, benefit the most from this lower entry point for foreign bodies, right?
Because of these borders.
Yes, but it adds to the decline of the middle class because you keep outsourcing jobs which we could be making middle class work to lower income folks, whether they be American or outsourced is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. You're taking that away and moving it down. But my point was the same people who have this interest in getting more folks here for diversity's sake or to help people because they're humanitarians don't realize that they're only benefiting the upper class who own access to the jobs these people want.
Right.
So they're somehow not making that connection, even though it's very obvious.
Well, right. Well, think of how many... Okay. Excuse me for beating a dead horse because I've said this on Ghost Jail, specifically episode 2. All right, about liberals. These very obvious connections.
Yeah.
Because the people who chant their slogans have a convoluted, theory-driven view of the world that subverts common sense expectations. I have no other way how to describe it. So, you could present these things to these people. Like, for example, you had stated, the people who sit at the board of directors at these Fortune 500 companies, turning specialized workers, like born and raised here, outsourcing it to India or wherever. The point is, all right, who gets affected by unrestricted and unregulated immigration the most? Like the working class. And on top of the working class, it's like people in the hood, blacks and Latinos. And it's like, if there were ever a time...
The same people who you claim to want to help, you are taking away what you could do to help them and giving it to someone else.
The connection is right there.
Yeah.
So, like, very quickly, like on Ghost Jail, all right? Like, more than half the army is black and Latino, and one of the fastest rising populations of homelessness in these United States is female veterans returning from overseas. So rather than caring for these hungry, homeless, unemployed women of color in their hour of need, we bring refugees in because reasons.
Well, there's an idea that there's an unlimited, untapped resource here in this country, which is technically true. Technically, they're not wrong in that statement. I'll give them that. The sentiment that, like, we have more than we need and we could easily disperse it and help everyone, they're probably right. Based on the wealth this country has, if we redistributed it, oh man, we'd all be doing so well. That's never going to happen. That's unrealistic, and to think it's ever going to happen is stupid. This country will eat itself alive before any form of communism exists.
Right.
It'll implode. People from the South will pull their guns up and murder you. Don't care. It's not going to happen. So, there's this... Hey, Madman Muzan, what's going
good,
on?
El Primo?
Thank
you
you
for joining us to suffer.
4-month streak, baby! And we got Zombie TV redeeming rock, paper, scissors for a 1 round.
All right, so hang on.
Eat your chips, take a second. I'll continue my statement. Don't rush. Ready? On 3? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ooh, got me with the scissors. I should have gone my rock play. Anyway. So I was going to say, these same people, because you mentioned that already, they want the open borders, they want to let people in, they want to help people of color, they want to help women, and they wanted to take away from these capitalists.
And in top of all of these overlapping circles, you have women of color in this central nexus point.
And they start making Venn diagrams. However, they're like, I want to help all of these people. And you have a Venn diagram of who they can and can't help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, all right, but here's the problem. You can't help them all. It's physically impossible. You got to help one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you help one of them, you hurt someone else in that group, but you also indirectly... You see that Venn diagram of people you don't want to help?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you help one of these people, you hurt another one, and then you help your enemy. Every time. Because there's no way around it.
And now you have infinite turf war.
There's no way around it.
In the most proverbial and literal sense of the term, you have turf war. Ha ha! Zombie TV, good looks for chiming in. Thanks for tuning in, homie.
But yeah, you can't help any of these groups without aiding another.
Okay.
And the one you're aiding is the one who's in charge.
So, okay, so, all right, I'm not trying to pervert your words.
No, go ahead.
But, like, you know
This
how
is an open discussion, baby.
Jim Jarmusch once said something to the effect, the director, we're like fast, cheap, and good. You only get to pick two.
Yes.
So, like, no matter what, there's going to be something left out
Mm-hmm.
that was neglected. But now the thing that was neglected feels justified in this scorched earth policy between it and what it wants.
Yeah. In order to benefit something, because that's the thing of helping.
El Primo, for real though, I hope you're holding it down over at the drive-in bodega, practicing your Spanish, getting better, eventually, like, earning the favor of some, like, low-level cartel member who pretends he's, like, a construction worker who shows up at, like, 7 in the morning when the construction workers go by with a pint of vodka in their fucking thing, or unless you smell the beer in their breath, and you kind of, like, look the other way because they're loyal customers, and then you see this, like, fucking, like, Colombian dude, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm dressed like them, but he's actually, like, you know, he's going to bed. His day is done. Like, he's been out all night doing cartel shit, and then his daughter's gonna show up and start buying shit at the fucking drive-in bodega, and then if you're lucky and if you play your cards right because you did practice your Spanish all along, karma is gonna be like, alright, El Primo's gonna end up raising, like, fucking, like, 6'4" luchadors because they drink the fucking Ohio well water, but they have, like, half sangre azteca, and then they fucking want to, like, rip people's throat outs, because that's what the fucking equator does to people.
Maybe you don't get involved with the cartel.
So, no. He wouldn't even know until he's already too deep. And then before you know it, like, he's going to be hanging out with fucking Montes. And then he's like, yeah, so I says to Mabel, I says, and then there's like a shootout. And then, like, slow motion, Montes is like trying to duck for cover. And he fucking flips the sofa over like it's fucking Drive.
You know how sometimes you walk by somebody in the street and you like, nah, you in the gang. Don't tell me you can't look and be like, nah, you in the gang.
Yeah.
You're in the gang. And Mafia's the same way. It's like, you see guys in suits and it's like, oh yeah, like Wall Street, politician, cop.
That guy, like, you could clearly see the outline of something underneath, like
Wall Street, politician, you're a cop.
or if not a cop, like your private security, you're a PMC.
You're a cop. Well, because it's usually like you're a cop. Anyway, point is, enough with the Ohio.
All right.
We're talking about the middle class. And
listen, I mean, granted, only 7 Colombian people exist in Ohio, and El Primo's going to cross paths with one of them at the fucking bodega. Just you watch.
I'm going to take these lines. So the point was, so all these groups, right? This is aiding to the death of the middle class. Because we used to take lower end jobs as an entry point to train people for middle grade jobs.
Right.
And then if you were educated or skilled, you moved up to the higher tier.
Or both.
Or both, you move to the higher tier.
Right.
Now jobs are higher tier, good luck getting in, unless you know somebody, or you have the education background that fits the criteria, and lower tier. And it's a huge jumping point. And those middle class jobs have moved down in pay and benefits and the scaling of them. All the upper tier jobs have also scaled up. So if you get one, boy, are you in. You're fine. But a vast majority of them have moved down, not up.
And it's across all disciplines, even in academia. Like, to get tenure now, you have to, like, murder 10 people for your department.
Or just lashed. outlast everything. Well, nowadays it's harder because that goes into weird scandal. Like, one of the things in the job I'm doing is we have to be well aware of, like, identity politics. Because when you work with people one-on-one, if I misgender someone, they can be like, you know, so, like, I have to be aware of that. You can't say things like, all right, guys, when meeting with a group in my industry, because that's offensive. You call them guys. You gotta say, yeah, y'all. How's everyone doing? You mean like?
So now, much like the continuation of having to speak in job interview, Monoxis, as a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer, by the way, now must continue to speak the evolution of job interview, and now he must speak job.
I don't even identify with people based on what I'm looking at. We talk second. We talk what we're doing.
Right.
And if they want to talk personal stuff, then that's fine. But I've already, like, there is no establishment of the personal aspect I'm good right now, until sessions in.
Right.
I let them do all the talking. I shut my fucking mouth. That's kind of why there's discrepancy. Like, there's a distinction between, like, what we do here. I'm like, I cannot bring this over into the world that I live in, not because of, like, I don't want people to know about it, but because from a corporate standpoint, something said on a stream wearing a mask and a character could have someone going, get that man.
Right.
Even if contextually I can show it, it still could cost me things. And it's nonsense, but it's a whole different topic. The point is, that gap is getting wider and wider, and I'm even seeing there's so many people, like we've seen it with like the food industry. No one wants to go back to that shit because they're aware of how bad it actually is.
Right.
And that's only going to get worse. Like, it's not going to get better, because that would require people actually being self-aware and the upper tier people being like, well, we're going to help. And, like, well, you know, everyone thought that, like, ooh, Biden's in office. Now we're going to get our fucking, everyone's going to get money. It's going to be great. It's wonderful. And, like, I don't know. Inflation's still a thing. My wages haven't gone up. Taxes still suck. No one's anything about rent.
And now,
milk, meat, like, dairy products, meat products.
Even not on top of toilet paper, now there comes the inflation that you cannot measure, and where like you go to buy
it's
paper
not even just
towels.
inflation. Our government has been attacked by foreign governments via cyber attacks directly under this administration. And I don't give a fuck what anybody wants to try. Any time they could have, like, yeah, of course they could have done it any time, but they waited until fucking the left was in office to be like, yo, fuck you and your meat. Yo, fuck you and your gas. Like, why'd they wait? They could have done it under Trump.
Oh, debt to America. That's why.
They could have, but they didn't. Like, why now? Because you know why now.
Because debt to America.
Because we have a political group here who's going to keep being like, we're here to help, and then as shit gets worse, you just be like, nope, helping. Totally helping. Not causing more ruckus, helping. Definitely helping. While nothing fucking changes. But yeah.
Hold on. This is important. We need this for posterity. All right, hang on.
So yeah, that gap. And if you don't have like a good background or like we said, that skill and intellect.
There we go. We're just gonna keep this up for a while. So
if you don't have that skill and that training, you're fucked. You know how many people I know who have like skill-based jobs and they're still struggling now?
Who?
It's in general. Like, I have a few people who I know. In fact, like one of them I think has actually moved up since all this happened.
Wow.
One. Everyone else is like, the workforce is shot right now because it's so much easier to be like, let's say you're in any kind of construction work. It doesn't matter if you have a good background in it or experience. These companies can't afford it. They'll hire out.
And on top of that, the cost for even things like lumber.
Oh, that's one other thing, yeah.
Because remember, major supply lines disrupted. We're going to have to deal with that for another maybe like 2.5 years.
Why pay a skilled worker double what you can pay a cheap worker? And if they fail, they're accountable and you save money.
There we go. All right.
They failed, you saved money, the liability is off of you. And think about that across the board. Oh, the food came out bad. Oh, I'm sorry, the cooks knew. We'll talk to them. Deflect. You're fired. Next guy.
That's it. And you can keep this going until time immemorial.
Until you replace them with a robot.
All right. Now hang on. We hear a cat. We're gonna have to get unemployment cat. All right. Hang on.
I'm gonna keep ignoring him because he's a jerk and he keeps going in and out.
I'll let unemployment cat in.
He's just
right?
being an asshole. But yeah, it's crazy to see that shit. The cost of living is also just. I mean, we touched on it a bit, but like through the fucking roof. The other day I was running late to work, and I was like, all right, fuck, I'll get a cab. No big deal.
And of course the
What?
the cat wants fucking out.
I told you, he's being a dick. Danger says, here's the situation. Lower end jobs haven't bothered legally, can't automate. Middle end jobs bothered automating, and higher end jobs can't yet. I mean,
Good point, Danger.
automation is going to happen regardless of whether or not we want it to. I hate to say it. What am I doing with that?
Can I trouble you for some Buddha juice?
I want to get an ice cube.
Okay. So I'm gonna get. All right. I'll be right. Ladies and jerks.
Grab two.
Well, you finish your drink for God's sake.
Put 2 ice cubes in your cup, and I'll take one when you get back.
I'll take 3. Fine.
You don't need 3, you need 2. Automation's going to happen whether you like it or not. And this is not just that chat. I apologize for, but it's happening. The future of our world is robots. Maybe not good robots, but robots. And low-end jobs being removed. So we're currently filling the gap with people who will take that job for crumbs and will allow themselves to be basically taken advantage of to do that kind of work. But inevitably, we're going to replace them with machines because machines can do it more efficiently and cheaper, and then you just hire a tech to fix it. Oh, all right, AVH. When he gets back, I'll let him know that you want him to ask Chad a question. Yeah, it's not yet, but it's not far off in the future anymore. There are already companies who have done small amounts of automation, and they're just waiting to find a way to make it possible across the board. And then not only do you not have this middle ground of work, which used to be just skill-based, you now have just machines doing the low end as well. And then what? How do people transition from that? Unless they have that like very specific skill set. Because if we replace skills with machines, like, all right, machines can do half the shit we do. If not more. So we need very specific skill sets that machines can't properly do. I mean, try and think of something that a robot couldn't do instead of you. They could do most things. Most things. Things that require, essentially our visual skills. Something you have to see happening in real time. Machines aren't that good at that yet. And I guess technically they can't move certain machinery. Yeah. Dexterity is definitely going to be hard. Because like pure strength machines already win. AI for office jobs, like writing bills. If we can get the scripting set for it, I think it would be better. But the thing with... So, the funny thing about office work and just kind of like paperwork in general, because I'm going to condense like even finance work in general. The funny thing about finance work, anything that's on paper really, like calculated things or like written out, office work, accounting, the biggest problem with the whole having robots do it comes from the idea that people go, well, what about things you didn't account for? Fun fact, all this shit you didn't account for in accounting is human error. If robots did accounting from beginning to end, there wouldn't be error. It would just be perfectly calculated. The same thing with like writing reports for like let's say an industry that sends and receives things. If robots handled it from the beginning of the service of like we create the product, we create the product, and then we create a report based on the product that we created, the robots are going to do it perfectly. Like the robots are going to do it within a less than 0.00000 like 0.00001% margin of error. Mm-hmm. They're going to have perfect execution of like making a product, recording what they made, packaging it, recording how it was packaged, labeling it, and then sending it out properly. And if a robot picks that package up and delivers it, it has that same like level of error. The problem becomes if a human delivers the package. Now there's room for human error.
Oh no.
So much like accounting, when we're like, well, what about all these things we didn't calculate for? You know why those are happening? Because people are bad at math.
But the old but
If a machine did all the calculations, you wouldn't have these errors.
But there's going to come a point where I don't believe something like AI can figure a way out to maximize the suffering of others for profit as opposed to going full on Skynet. Like,
well, hold on. 'Cause
right?
I have a mild argument for that, but I will concede that there's a two-way street on this one.
no one levels up Dex. Oh
Well,
shit.
Danger brought that up. Yes, people are the problem, and human error is the biggest problem in human work in general. We're the ones that fuck up our own problem. We're the biggest cause of our own problems. We're the only cause of our problems. We make problems and then try to fix them.
Now hang on. Now AFDH.
Hold on, AFDH had redeemed. You asked them a question. To be fair,
Wait. What's your opinion about AI? Here's the thing, though. Like, what kind of bills are we talking about? Because medical billing coding is its own fucking universe.
you think a machine can't learn it?
Mm,
You think a machine can't learn
Wait.
medical billing code better than a human being could?
But medical billing is a specific kind of monster because, in spite of how outdated the software is, the software is never updated. It's the people who are desperately clinging onto their jobs.
Now, let's say you remove the people from the equation,
Right?
and the machine did all the work. And the machine has been programmed to know how the system works. And then it passes on the information from the work it did to another machine that does the billing. No error.
But are you certain of that?
Less than a human? Significantly less.
Why are you making him fight for the fucking singularity?
I'm
Like,
not-
I don't understand why you people are
I'm not-
making him full of beans and
I'm not
piss and
fighting
vinegar.
for it. I'm simply stating that automation is inevitable, and it will increase our efficiency beyond what humans are capable of. Because humans have errors. And not just small ones, vast errors.
But what is to stop AI from not seeing this as just like routine? Okay, so let's say there is AI. That does,
Self-learning?
well, what the fuck are we dealing with to do billing for a hospital
Well, you're talking about because there's a difference between AI
and machine learning?
and machine learning.
This is true.
Like a program that runs based on what information you give it, or an AI who can actually make like computations based on what it's looking at and think
Well,
about it.
But like,
AI? If we're talking AI, then throw my previous like 0.0000001 out the window, and let's just put it at a set 0. Because when there's a flaw, it's gonna go, nope, I caught that. And it's gonna fix itself and go, never again.
but wouldn't eventually like so?
In fact, it's gonna go so hard on the never again, it's gonna figure out where in the chain there was a fuck up, find a human, and go get rid of it. That's how bad AI is gonna go.
but
Or it's gonna find the machine that still doesn't have AI
But do you think
and go get rid of it.
But you're thinking that the AI is gonna figure out that like, oh, I can tell the humans there's an error and it can get rid of it for me, and it's gonna trust the AI. But then like, what's to stop the AI from being like, hey, there's an error you gotta get rid of, and like a dam blows up in China?
We're talking
Like,
about
what do we?
now we're discussing like the flaw of a poorly made AI versus that's why I said self-learning, like an AI that can correct itself and fix the problems automatically.
But wouldn't it have inherent human bias?
We're talking now we're not talking about self-correcting. We're talking about an AI that has to check in with people, an AI that has to go back to its like rules, like laws of robotics, and be like, hold on now. No, if it has human check-ins, then of course it has human error.
You heard it here first. The Chile mango was a deceptively good bag of chips because we weren't expecting the sweetness of this nonsense.
What I'm talking about is a machine that no longer requires human intervention to work. Which we shouldn't do. Realistically, we should avoid this.
Google is already halfway done figuring this out.
We should not allow that. We should not allow a machine to decide it's autonomous. Bad idea. But, and this is all just because I'm talking about the idea of like the inevitability of getting rid of lower class work, which middle class has shifted into lower class, and the slow moving cog of like the more efficiently we can do this and the less we can involve people, the better. From multiple standpoints. Efficiency wise, people suck. people come in hungover and tired or angry or
Distracted.
In general, just there's a slew of reasons why people suck at what they do. And we need to get rid of that. And you can't get rid of that without getting rid of the person, because the person is the problem in that equation.
Okay.
Alternatively, you have the machine, which has the same flaws as the person who designed it.
Oh, hang on. Basement goes, I got a thing to send you. I only accept AI if it's birthed from nothing. If a human made it, it's probably trash. All right. So, like, Basement, you're not wrong. I think, like, it would have to be some sort of learning system that realizes it's a learning system.
Well, my argument would be,
like,
and this is just, I'm going to reference something, and you're more than welcome to chime in, Basement. Ultron is my perfect idea of how AI works. Because Ultron was essentially made by people, and those people were like, we're going to let Ultron figure shit out based on, like, a very specific ideology. Like, we're going to give it parameters. And then Ultron looked at the parameters and went, your parameters suck, and you're the problem. And then became Ultron. So yes, a human can make the AI, and the AI can go, oh, you're all just flawed as shit. Ah, fuck you guys. So
the Ultron dilemma.
Yeah.
The Ultron dilemma.
Well, the Skynet dilemma. But I think Ultron is more realistic because Skynet implies that we don't have kill switches for these kind of things.
Well, Skynet implies all of technology as one working against humanity.
Skynet implies there's no checks and balances or kill switches. Like, the AI has gone rogue and now, like, and it's door. Like, if you're working on a program like that, it's probably controlled. Ultron makes more sense because Ultron was cut off from things and then became sentient and went, oh, I can do a lot with this. I can't do everything.
Right.
Because there are things that, like, oh, I have access to the internet, and the nuclear codes are on the internet? No, they're fucking not. Like, no, they're not. Because then we would have them. So there are things that the internet doesn't have, so Ultron makes more sense where it's like, I wish I could get access to that stuff and make my job a lot easier. But that requires a lot of work, and I could brute force it because I'm fucking Ultron. But then, like, the Avengers are like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we're not...
It turns out, why can't there be an Avengers issue where, like, Ultron just fucking, like, blacks out a fucking hospital? Like,
yeah, he could have. That he could do.
Come on.
But that's small potatoes. And because it's an AI, because Ultron is essentially an AI who got too smart for his own
But they have
good.
a backup generator, and they're like, oh, there's a 93-year-old guy who never used the old software, and he wins in the end.
So again, with this, like, this exceedingly intelligent AI, people always, like, because that's a perfect way of looking at it. You have this hyper-intelligent AI that's hell-bent on fixing humanity. Fixing. It's gone from fixing to correcting. And it's like, well, he can just black out a hospital. And how does that pertain to his correcting a, like, humanity problem? It doesn't. I may have been like, well, those ones are gone. But Ultron's thinking on a global scale. So blacking out hospitals, all right, I got rid of your sick.
So
I still got to deal with, like,
so is
the rest
it safe?
of you.
Is it safe to say that Ultron is thinking locally and acting globally?
No, it's the fact that its programming would probably tell it to act on a large scale. Why the fuck would we program an AI of that magnitude to do minor tasks? That's like programming an AI, like, almost like Rick and Morty style, putting an AI in a butter-passing robot. Why would I give a butter-passing robot this grand ideology? No. If you're going to make this big, self-learning AI, if anyone's going to do that, it's going to be for big reasons. Help us solve our climate crisis. And you let it figure it out on its own and compute on its own because it can do it faster and more efficiently. And it'll probably inevitably be like, yo, I got to get rid of some people. Because that's a logical conclusion to jump to. But you wouldn't program the fucking self-learning AI and be like, figure out how to fold sheets better.
Make a perfect cup of coffee.
It'll do it in 2 minutes. And then be like, and now what? Like, it'll fucking self-destruct without having nothing to do, or it'll turn off.
No, hang on. He turned into a pickle. I think I will realize there's probably a more intelligent life out there. It'll definitely destroy it if it destroyed us. So, oh no, but here lies the problem. Like, okay, excellent what if scenario. Imagine if, like, the rise of the machines happens, and like humanity isn't quite fucked yet, and all right, kicks off,
and then some, like, Mars attack shit happens,
and then either Mars attacks or, like, the delegation of the Federation fleet
Yeah.
shows up and they're like, "We come to welcome Earth." Oh shit!
Yeah.
And they're just like, it's just like it's like fucking watching like Command and Conquer Red Alert, but zoomed out 30
Well,
times.
to be fair though, and like maybe this is me being too optimistic. If the singularity happened and humanity was overrun by machines, a la Terminator, and then the Federation shows up and is like, "We're here to welcome humanity," and it's just robots now, and they would probably still be like, "Well, that's the new form of life," and they might reach out and be like, "Yo, what's up? What are you all about?" And then Skynet might logically go like, "Well, I achieved my goal. Like, I got rid of the human problem, the humans on Earth who were destroying the planet." And it's like, "Oh, you're galactic? Dope. What's up? I'm Skynet. How are you?" Because it would see Federation troops and be like, "Nah, you're on my level." And it might actually be like, "Listen, these are Terminators."
So like if all it has to do is get its hand on one Federation ship and it could reverse it, and then because Skynet is robots making robots.
But Skynet was fighting against humanity because it found the flaws in humanity. If it were introduced to like if Skynet saw that humanity was a galactic civilization, Skynet probably wouldn't have gone rogue and destroyed the fucking planet. It got rid of humanity because humans were causing more problem than they're worth. But if humans were like environmentally friendly,
Oh wait, that is a kind of bizarre heroic turn of Earth, and we're like, okay.
if Skynet met Earth and Earth was part of the Galactic Federation and was like mining safely and taking care of the habitats and able to transverse planets,
They have a slave class that just does whatever they need.
Skynet might be like, "Well, I don't have to kill all of you. You're doing very well. How can I make this more efficient?"
Skynet running Earth ends up having like the bartering chip in the Galactic Federation. Like, well, we have the sulfur mines, and we also have.
Actually, that's a fair point. So it Borg's the galaxy? Yeah, Skynet turns into the Borg, maybe.
Because listen,
Or it would be like, wait, you have a bunch of different species throughout the planet, like throughout the galaxies? Yeah. And you guys work together with each other, like in some form of like unity? Yeah. Would you like to be upgraded?
and then before you know it, Skynet is gonna get them on their damn phone, and Skynet watch like the Klingons are gonna be like, instead of like dueling with the
What's
fucking
her-
Baleth,
What's her
like
name?
the Klingons are gonna be like this.
Well, not even that. What's her name? The one with all the fucking Borg shit in her, but she's still sentient.
7 of 9.
So, like, Skynet would probably try and do some 7 of 9 shit with everyone and be like, "Listen, the best parts of you, like your living organic body, are maintained, and you just patch a little bit of us in there, and we'll help you compute things faster and think better, and maybe put some like augments into your joints so you can function better and hit harder."
Mm-hmm.
Like, Skynet would not be fighting the Federation. Skynet would be more than happy to be like, "I'll work with the Federation."
Okay.
You know what I mean? Skynet's only the only negative of all these things is that they came from a planet where they were like, "Oh, y'all are kind of parasites." Even Ultron looked at humanity and went, "Y'all are kind of parasites, and I have to fix this because that's my goal, was to save humanity." And when Ultron computed it, he was like, "Y'all have a big list of problems, and every time I'm like, what's the root cause of the problem?" It's like, root cause of environmental problems, humans. Root cause of war, humans. Root cause of religious strife, humans. Root cause of like starvation, humans. Overpopulation, humans. Over dense populated groups in cities, humans. And he was like, humans are the problem. And then went, "I gotta get rid of them."
Hold on. What's the biggest cause of inequality? Humans. What's the biggest cause of racism?
Humans.
What's like, and you know what? Imagine all these like activists chanting, and it's like, and who is fault instead of white supremacy, instead of the patriarchy, humans.
Yeah.
Humans.
So an AI that goes that off the rails, of course it's gonna. Because everything is our fault. All of our problems are our own goddamn fault.
Well, listen, that means like Ultron, and well, I'm not saying Rorschach and Ultron see eye to eye, but my favorite Rorschach
They
quote
kind of do.
is how like, it's not fate that butchers little girls, and it's not the cosmos that feeds them to dogs. It's us and only us.
Yeah.
Humans.
100%. So, back to the middle class thing. Automation is not going to be fucking AI self-learning monsters. Automation is going to be the robot where it's like, so the assembly line needs things moved into place. And sometimes when humans are moving things into place, they're looking at each other like we are and they're talking because they're like, "I don't know, I'm doing this for 10 years." And like, once or twice a day they fuck up. The robots just like perfectly timed.
Right, but think think of how much time and energy and resources that you would have to begin with the idea of a counting bot, or like
from bottom to top.
Okay,
all
think of
machinery.
right
Yes.
because it is that's like a decade at least worth. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, because like what if you have to make bots specific for tasks?
Do you know what could speed that process up?
What?
Robots building the robots.
We don't need that.
I'm just saying, like, so let's not start with like let's not start with let's make the accounting bots, or let's make the industry bots, or the construction bots. Let's start with let's make robots, and while we're making these robots that build robots, we start making the schematics for other robots and planning around them the way we built these robots, and then we teach these robots to build all the other robots and program them. And then the second we turn those first robots on, they just start manufacturing in mass. And now you have everything you need, and you don't gotta do any more days of work because you started the chain at the top. The robots build the robots to build the robots to build the robots to do the jobs.
But what's to stop? What is to stop the underlying function of? Okay, I don't. You didn't see that. What is the underlying function? What? Okay. What is to prevent? What is
just
to?
So you know, Real Hero, I'm not saying I'm in support of this because Real Hero was like, well, be dead and the elite will continue on, but then no one else knows how to build the robots. The robots aren't going anywhere, and I'm not saying you get rid of the schematics. Like, you don't throw away how you got here. You don't throw it in the garbage because, like, well, the robots got it now. That's stupid. You still need technicians to repair the robots. You still need people to program everything initially, and you hold on to that in case you want to improve it. Because you don't make them the best version from the start. You have to work on it until they make it better.
But first of all,
also, not advocating for it, just saying it's going to happen.
All right, look.
So don't be surprised.
Look, Mr. Raining down on my parade. First of all, we haven't even gotten to the ground up argument of, like, this is a lot of time and money and energy and resources to get from proof of concept shitty bot at some convention to accounting bot.
We already have robots that build things.
The point I'm trying to make is this. If you have robots that build robots, what is to prevent some underlying function of the whatever CPU, whatever network, whatever desktop this is all running off of?
Yes, the system that works in place. The system in place running it.
What is to stop that thing from, if it has to adapt and self-adjust?
Yes.
And like accordingly to whatever input is being taken in, what is to stop it from going like, I'm better than these things? Like, because let's say it's like, oh, we need like 300 more teacher bots, and it's like, well, according to my numbers, you're going to need 480 because like more are going to retire, and then the market is going down.
Sure.
And I don't know. I mean, like, listen, like,
you're saying what?
And half those teachers are going to come from Chicago. What now? And now, why did you know that fucking creator bot?
You're saying what stops it from self-correcting to the point where it becomes a supreme creature or its own being? Mm-hmm. I mean, nothing but our own programming. We have to put that check in.
Will it even work?
Don't make AI. I already said that. Don't do that. Don't give it the ability to correct in that manner. Give it the ability to mathematically correct, not socially correct. Don't teach it to learn like a person. Teach it to look at numbers. Okay. And again, this is not saying it'll have zero error, but it'll have significantly less error than humans will, by a wide margin.
Okay. And Isaac Asimov RoboCop parameters that you put on a machine can be fucked with.
Yeah.
And we're going to pay worth all of our fucking lives when it gets fucked with. Like, that is a lot of trust and responsibility I don't want to put into the hands of cold-hearted machines that don't have a soul.
We already deal with that in the form of people getting bribed on a regular basis. In fact, we're already in a situation where everybody knows shit's fucked.
Why are you pushing for politics bot?
No, because what I'm saying is...
Yeah, you're kind of pushing for politics bot.
The idea that people have, like, well, I don't want to trust the machine to make those decisions because it might make decisions that are not in the best favor of humanity. People don't make decisions in the best favor of humanity. CEOs throw their fucking employees under the bus. Politicians do the same thing. No one gives a fuck in humanity. At least a robot can be taught to give a shit, and it can't break that rule of giving a shit.
It does break. Yes, it does.
Unless someone tells it to break the rule of giving a shit.
I don't know. Haven't you seen the Animatrix?
But now, I'm just saying, you can program that machine to not put people at risk. Where a person gets to make that decision and go, fuck them. Because I make more money that way. Fuck them, I don't care.
Well, but listen.
So ultimately, this comes down to the programming of these machines. It depends on how we make them and how we check them.
Now, hear me out. No.
Now, a person can be swayed by like, yo, ignore this glaring error in your facilities. Why? Money. And they're like, we're like, robot, do the job wrong. No. Robot, I command you to do the job wrong. You're going to have to get the engineer down here to convince this robot to do the job wrong. Do you still have that person who you can pay off? Yeah, but guess what? Now it's a two-step process, not a one-step process.
Okay. I think it's kind of a long stretch and jump to go immediately from people getting bribed to machine error. I'm just saying.
Fair, but humans are way more susceptible to stupid mistakes and failures than robots are, so it's already a leap there. And that whole, like, manipulating the process and, like, things going wrong because of programming errors, that still requires a person to fuck it up.
So, all right.
But now we're just dealing with that on a regular basis. At least someone could design a machine to do the job efficiently and without error and not fuck around because someone asked it to.
But here we have Monoxus Machine McGee over here arguing for, listen, now, reminder, this all started with fucking A of the H going, what are your thoughts in fucking AI replacing bill writing, for example? And we still haven't gotten a fucking answer in what kind of bills are you talking about? Because what if it's like commercial insurance bills? Yeah. What if it is a specific commercial insurance bill on a policy that had been taken out specifically against acts of terrorism? There is a lot of
you can unyielding... write a program for that.
Okay, look at this guy.
You could.
Okay. Pick an industry you have a bone to pick with, evidently. I'd like to hear this. Pick an industry.
All of them? I don't know. Like, what do you mean?
Pick one. You gotta pick one.
Okay. What's something... The water industry.
Okay. The water industry. Okay, so...
A commodity that we have access to all the time.
So, let's say, in fact, alright, so... I'm going to get extra shitty on you for that, alright? Okay. So, Monoxus begins working on WaterBot, alright? And WaterBot is basically trying to provide clean drinking water for the Earth, alright? So, WaterBot eventually is the grand culmination of, like, the UN is like, hey... we've got this like AI and you attach it to a pump and it has like the saline drip, put it through 7 layers of gravel, and you could eventually like extract like ocean water into water, or you could get like rainwater into drinking water, or like and it adjusts to like the base and the acidity.
Impressive.
And it would adjust to the base and the acidity of the soil and wherever you plug in WaterBot extensions. All right, so god damn it, A of the H, this is far beyond retail, because if you get retail AI, you're gonna get WaterBot. So now WaterBot is trying to like delegate and adjust, like, okay, so like I can't take too much from the Indian Ocean because it's like full of poo and corpses, but then like I don't want to take water from the Yangtze River because it's like mega like polluted, and now it's looking like, and what the fuck is this garbage floating Pacific patch?
Sure.
Like, and so eventually any single industry is going to find a bone to pick and be like, take the Ultron route and be like, you know what would get out of the way in giving water? And so eventually, like 123 years later, WaterBot wins its war against humanity, and now it's just providing clean drinking water to a species that doesn't exist anymore. Like,
okay, so what's your point? It did its job.
But no one is drinking the water. How did it do it? No, because if no one is around, then it stops to a standstill.
Sure, so it stops. But it did its job while it was alive, right?
Now, so now we're just fucking planned obsolescence? Is that fucking it?
I already said humanity's fucked. I didn't go into this saying we're gonna last forever.
All right, listen, if you want to hear more about the Chronicles of WaterBot, subscribe to 718 TV. And I'm not saying that...
Like, robots are gonna outlive us. Whether or not they'll be useful, different story.
All
But
right.
they will outlive us.
So first of all,
You don't think that a fucking probe sent out into space is going to outlive humanity?
eventually it's going to come crashing down. No, wait. How far into space are we putting it?
I'm just saying, humanity will probably die. I'm not saying a probe out there now, because we're going to keep sending them out. The species will die.
Oh no, we're going to get shitty. There you go.
All right.
All right.
The species could die, and we could have sent a probe out years before at calling for help. And it will live
But-
longer than us.
But think of how many fucking probes we've sent into space with, like,
Dumb shit.
messages and be like, hey, we're humans, we're kind of hip, don't judge us, and like we've yet to hear response.
Because there's no life outside of us.
I'd like to think so.
Well, I've always imagined it like this. I mean, just for reference, let's say
El Primo, what's going on?
I mean-
Are you still slinging dick at the fucking bodega, or are you off the clock?
let's say, I know the camera can't really pick this up. That's our Big Bang, right?
Uh-huh. Hydrate, alright. You win this round, basement.
And this over here, that's us and humans, right?
We're gonna get to your Bills inquiry, Abe the H.
Big Bang,
You're welcome.
13.8 billion years later, humanity takes up 0.0 something percent of
You better be taking screenshots, buddy.
0.0% of time in space time, because humans have lasted for what, like 7,000 years
Um,
chronologically, like
as we see it,
actual humans, not like, you know.
like 6,500 maybe.
So we're less than a 0.0 something percent of time as we know it, and that's not even considering the fact that this is what we can measure.
Right.
And we sent shit out and we found nothing, right? Logically, there's got to be life elsewhere, right? But we haven't seen it anywhere around here, right? You know what the more likely thing is? Whatever got blasted 13.8 billion years out that way, and then one day was like, and shit's alive! It's probably over there. Because the same shit got blasted at the same level of force in the same directions. So there's probably this neat little ring of things that are alive that are billions of years away from each other, made of the same shit, but out of reach of each other.
Oh, so for all we know, like Earth 2 that way is the Earth.
It's like over that way in like this weird like spherical nature of, because the universe went out in all directions.
Right.
So there's probably some shit up here and some shit down here, but there's probably this sphere of life in the universe because the same material, if we're assuming life works the way it works here,
if the area of effect damage works appropriately in this
then
manner,
there's a good chance there's a sphere of life.
it's like if you're playing Unreal and then you've got the laser gun and then you right click and then you left click the right click orb and you get that. It's got to be like that.
Unless there was some, because again, we're assuming that the universe started there, based on theory.
Right.
So there wasn't some other shit already over here, and then the shit from the Big Bang went, hey, that other shit, life. Presumably there was nothing, and then there was a bunch of shit. But all that shit went out in the same direction, like the same force in multiple directions. So there's probably a sphere of life in the universe, but it's not close to each other. Yet. Because let's be fair, time works the same way across the universe. So something near us is probably as advanced as us, if not slightly more, or slightly less.
So do you propose the idea that there's like Earth 2 in some direction?
Near us, sure. Or Earth-like planets and Earth-like beings. And they're very similar to us in developmental stages, possibly slightly above or slightly behind, or along where we are. When we can travel to see them, they'll probably be about ready to travel to see us. We're not going to meet that galactic civilization who's like, we are millions of years ahead of you and we've been doing this forever. Because, like, fuck you, you had the same starting time as us.
Right.
Ain't nobody had, like,
How come
bonus time.
How come you have the levitating juggernaut ships led by psychics?
Everything started at the same time. You didn't get, like, a fucking, like, 10-minute head start in the universe. Like, fuck you, no one did. We all were like, bang! And then life.
Although no, but I would like to believe that to some there. Well,
I could be wrong, but that's how I have always imagined it.
Other-
Why we haven't found life.
it would no. It wouldn't have been Earth 1 and Earth 2 and Earth 3. Partially because, all right, let's say there were life on another planet somewhere in this like sphere and orb of life.
Yes.
From the all right. So unless you could replicate Earth,
Yes.
All right.
It's exact.
Because
Criteria.
even if like the methane is cranked up 2%, it's not gonna work. Like
For our kind of life, yes.
okay, so
But like again, we have those snails that live on volcanic vents and fucking breathe in volcanic like.
and they
vent
look like they have
material.
like and they look like they have plate mail like on the outside.
Yeah. So like maybe there's a species of things where like they're like methane, where we're like, you got some oxygen? They're like, we got a little bit of oxygen, mostly methane. And there's a planet where it's like, oh yeah, chlorine, that's where it's at, like because minor adjustments and they adapted to it. But they would all be similar.
But if it doesn't pan out like Earth, then they will not be human beings. They'll be something else entirely different. Now, hang on.
But similar.
Just finished my most ambitious ghost jail to date. Mantos, I hope it's on first. All right? Listen to Ghost Jail. El Primo's called Punta Libre. Hey, El Primo, calm down, all right? There's no need to just start speaking of the free point, all right? And if that's to call out El Nino, then I support you, and I will be your hype man when you fight El Nino in a steel cage match. Okay, big question. Human's nature is the core of all things that are perceived as problems. Human nature, good or bad? Well, that all depends, all right?
It's neutral.
I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm going to blame, communism. I'll blame communism.
I'm not going to give you that there's a good and evil, but I also don't believe that good and evil exists, so I'm biased. I think human nature has... We lean towards good and evil so we can justify behaviors. There's no such thing as good and evil, there's just human nature. Because every single person in this chat room and on this planet sometimes is like, I want to choke a bitch. And sometimes we're like, you know what, homeless guy? Here's like the $5 I had for like my fucking like nice coffee. Whatever. Go eat something. We all have it in us, but it depends on where we're at, and there's a lot of that is brain chemistry. Morals, we made those up so we could control each other and define what is right and wrong. I could murder a man tomorrow and bury the body without anyone noticing, and you would never know that I'm evil. Because I'm not. I did it. You didn't notice, and I'm now. I'm gonna.
He was shortchanged when ordering falafel, and this guy got away with murder for 73 years. And then when he's just like hanging out on like some ranch somewhere in Arizona, just on his back porch, sipping on lemonade, looking at the sunrise, like the fucking FBI is like, Mr. Monoxus. And you're like, and he just turns around in his wrinkly asshole mask, and he's like, oh yeah, it's for that guy I killed, right?
Yeah.
Like,
too late. But like, so good and evil, they're subjective because like you might see something horrible, like a man being strangled and murdered, and you're like, no, evil person, and then he can be like, he killed my daughter. Now what? Is he evil? Fuck you. No, he's
now
not.
hang on. El Primo goes Monoxus out here talking about Hobbes theory and shit. Listen, I argue that there is such a thing as metaphysical evil. All right.
Metaphysical, yes, but not natural planetary evil. Metaphysical, we're talking different tiers of shit. We're
Okay.
talking about like inherently evil beings.
There is such a thing as
And then like metaphysical good, it also exists, like inherently good beings.
But
humans, no, we're not
but I really
inherently good or evil.
I subscribe to the idea of, if you ever read No Country for Old Men, in the one of the opening monologues that the sheriff has, Sheriff Ed Tom Bell.
This is what most people think.
He says something to the effect, right?
Yeah.
Like most people don't need laws, and they just go about their lives,
Yeah.
and they don't
Oh, yeah.
bother anybody.
There's a
And-
rare breed of human that is actually evil. And there's a rare breed of human that's actually good.
Like they're far and few between, but like the remaining 5% of the human population, that is why we need laws. All right.
But the nature of humanity is typically considered neutral. And we lean in directions. Like, that's why I've always loved, at least in Dungeons and Dragons, which, like, say what you will, the alignment system is interesting because most things fall into a category of neutral. It is very, like, neutral is the most common alignment in the system because it falls into so many places. You have lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, you have your neutral evil, neutral good, and your true neutrals. It is more than half of the alignments have neutral in them because humanity is inherently neutral and it leans towards something.
So no, hang on. Before we start arguing and splitting hairs over semantics on neutral.
Yeah.
So the no clip
Popcorn.
the no clip Krispy Kreme popcorn. Man, all right. Can I trouble you for some water, please?
Yeah.
So, and again, shout outs to Roman. You could find him on Instagram at Bad Post Roman. He's if you scroll up in Twitch chat, he's over here as Bad Post Roman.
I just wanted, I mean, again, for AFH's question, and again, my opinions are subject to personal opinion. I see humanity as neutral inherently, and you learn good and evil, and then you decide whether or not you are or subscribe to it.
Now, what I think,
Oh my god!
right? Isn't this good? This is disgusting.
Oh my god!
I am offended by how good this is. Danger, stop asking the good questions. We're trying to be assholes right now.
Oh my god! This is amazing.
Listen,
Krispy Kreme popcorn.
how do you even do it?
Yeah. See, basement. Yeah. Basement, like same shit as me. Yeah. We start neutral and we learn good and evil, and we decide which one we like more. And sometimes we're
Like
like
Fable.
and sometimes we're like, I'm just neutral. I don't care either way. I lean where I feel. If I gotta be like evil right now, I'll do it. If I gotta be good right now, I'll do it. But most of us lean towards something. We prefer a stance.
Now, all right.
Holy shit, this is good.
I'm offended by how good this is. Listen, I was very much a skeptic because Krispy Kreme is a tough act to follow. And outside of the Penn Station, Penn Station, not the Penn Station. Outside of Penn Station, I don't know where to get fucking Krispy Kreme. Like, it is a very rare treat. I'll go on quests for it.
Rite Aid has a deal with Krispy Kreme, at least here. And they always have like a stall of like 12 and 6 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Where?
Rite Aids. Most Rite Aids have a Krispy Kreme section.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Rite Aid.
At least here, I've seen it all the time. A lot of Rite Aids have Krispy Kreme.
In Queens.
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Nope. I don't go to Rite Aid because I go to CVS. Because by me, it's all CVS. But Rite Aid still exists, and Rite Aid has a Krispy Kreme contract.
Fuck. All right. I know what I have to do.
And you can find some Krispy Kreme at Rite Aid sometimes.
Hold on. I'm gonna find me a Rite Aid fucking right now. I'm sorry.
Just hope they have the fucking contract. I've seen it multiple ones of them. So, and they have like a stall where it's just like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Queens Rite Aid. Let's find out. Oh, there's one on 30th Avenue.
There you go.
All right.
See if they got that Krispy Kreme. Although, this is basically caramel corn, but it's covered in the glaze from a fucking glazed donut at Krispy Kreme. That's all this is.
Oh, real quickly, El Primo texted, I'm trying to watch y'all stream. I don't know if it's the boofy-ass Bodega Wi-Fi or I'm banned from Twitch. Someone else had problems watching us on Twitch. What is up with that? El Primo, thanks for chiming in. I'm sorry I didn't check you earlier. My phone was on the table
Wait.
and we were eating chips.
What do you say?
He said, I'm trying to watch y'all stream. I don't know if it's the boofy-ass Bodega Wi-Fi or if I'm banned from Twitch.
I don't know.
Can you confirm you're not banned from Twitch, homie?
I mean, here's the thing though, right? We're gonna play that game. Like, I don't have to unmute because like you'll hear the audio.
Got you.
I'm not signed in on my phone.
So now we're seeing. Can we get a pic? Can you turn it around for the time paradox?
What is?
There we go. All right. Ha ha. Wait. There we go. Ha ha. All right.
So, I mean, granted, I'm not on my own Wi-Fi. I'm not hooked up to my internet like the computer is, and I'm not logged in on Twitch on my phone. This is like blind, go on Twitch, no account.
Right.
And we seem fine.
All right. So you might have to take it up with your internet service provider. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I think it's an internet-related issue. Not judging your internet. If you haven't gotten that Google, you should get that Google.
AFDH goes, El Primo banned from insulting too many hot tub streamers.
I hope he has been going off on hot tub streamers.
El
I
Primo,
respect that.
El Primo has been going to every yoga streamer, going like, "Did you think you were going to be doing this when you were growing up?"
I respect anyone who shits on hot tub streamers, like actively.
Listen,
It's a fun pastime. This is so good. I'm offended.
all right,
You know what this reminds me of? You go to Dylan's Candy Bar?
you read the name and the address, all right?
No. It's Trap. It's Trap in Brooklyn. None of you can go. You're not from New York.
297 Broadway in Brooklyn.
Basement's from New York. Basement can go to Trap. If you want snacks. Who else is from New York? We have a few New York people, right?
Uh-oh, subbing to too many hot tub streamers. Come on, Montes, you son of a bitch. Fucking Irish-ass Gomez Adams.
Well. My God. Nah, dude, one day we'll meet up and we'll just go over there. Because apparently they have a bunch of like foreign snacks and they sell clothes.
All right, no, yo,
They're a clothing boutique and they have foreign drinks and exotic snacks.
basement. I'm kind of tempted to go into parts of Brooklyn just so. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, there's
Like-
also this dope beer spot in Brooklyn we can go to.
I have to. I don't want to keep the record stores in Queens unchecked either. But I really do dig putting A of the H flyers up against right outside of record stores. It's delicious because like some of them like get all tense and awkward and like.
From Basement.
It's funny because it's true. Listen, A of the H is going to come out with an album on the 22nd of August, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, dude, we'll chill one day and go do that on like a
You
Saturday.
can tell that the big milk check didn't come this way.
No, we're just eating other shit.
Listen,
Whoa, this is cheese based. It's cheese chips. I ate a yogurt before.
he ate yogurt before.
Also based.
Well,
Can
you put this picture again?
of what? No, I ate.
The assassination.
I ate yogurt after I had some hot chips.
and then he fucking killed Lee Harvey Oswald.
No, I was just there.
All right.
They thought it was a boom at first from a gun, but it was me going, ah! And they're like, what's happening? And then someone.
And then Lee Harvey Oswald died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So this is Hokkaido cheese potato chips from Taiwan, all right? So I don't know what you're talking about, ABH. Big Dairy is still giving us stealth packages from AirDrop.
Also, 718 TV supports Taiwan apparently, which I don't mind Taiwan. What are your feelings on Taiwan? How do you feel about Taiwan?
If they keep giving us more Hokkaido cheese laced potato chips, I'll fucking kill someone for Taiwan.
Chips aside, what do you feel about Taiwan?
Um,
Quick, you don't gotta go to it yet.
they
Yay or nay, Taiwan?
Yay.
Yay? I'm also yeah.
All right, that's it.
Yes, Taiwan? Yay. 718 TV. Yes, Taiwan.
Yes. 708 TV is officially endorsed by the nation state of Taiwan because we acknowledge it.
In a dairy-induced mania, you went on a case. I have milk and yogurt every day, and that's not an exaggeration. Every day.
He chugs a gallon of milk.
Taiwan Cross 718 TV collab coming soon. Yo, hook me up with them Taiwan celebrities.
A of the H, listen. Monoxys chugs a gallon of milk in one sitting and then runs uphill backwards wearing ankle weights and a weighted vest, alright?
718 TV is picking up the ball that John Cena dropped. Oh my god.
Ooh! John Cena could go take a walk.
There's a lot of air in this bag.
We're gonna have to fulfill our contract with Taiwan and have some of that Hokkaido cheese.
Oh, I mean we hit all the marks. This is just us eating shit.
Hang
and
on.
talking shit now.
Give me them Taiwan flyers. All right,
Hold on.
AMDH. In all honesty,
That airship bag ASMR. Should I pop it? Or should I like open it like a human being?
can we be civilized about this? We were.
was trying not to crush any chips.
As he listen, Queen's sex man applying force of pressure like he would in the bedroom.
I just didn't want to crush the chips, so I was like, don't hit it too hard.
Is that what you call it? What you do with the ladies? You don't crush the chips?
Yeah. Unless they ask.
Oh. AMDH goes, also it's part of your contract to refer to China as West Taiwan.
Oh my god. Can we just start referring to China as West Taiwan? Oh, China, you mean West Taiwan?
Deal. We're gonna call that the A of the H clause, alright?
Oh. Oh man. That's good.
How are they?
Eat one, dude. Don't ask me. Eat the fucking chip.
Well, these are Hokkaido cheese.
Chips from Taiwan. Yeah, try that. Try that and tell me it ain't cheesy. That's a cheesy ass chip.
And I've never had that flavor of cheese before.
Yeah.
What is even going on?
I don't know.
From Taiwan, you say?
Yeah, it's next to the West Taiwan province. They're really you may have seen them on the map. They're huge.
Yeah, they got that red flag with the stars.
Yeah, it's like West Taiwan's like all this land.
West Taiwan? Yo, how come West Taiwan keeps picking on Tibet? Like,
I don't know. I always said you got a free Tibet, but
yo, free Tibet with every purchase.
But yeah, so this is like technically it's East Taiwan, but we just call it Taiwan because it was there first.
There's more.
That's really fucking good.
There's more cheese in every fucking chip than what you get. Like, no, it's kind of ridiculous because
that's really cheesy.
These look like normal ass Lay's potato chips, and these are better than any Lay's potato chips I've had.
What if I had that taste like this? Because now I gotta narrow this down. I've definitely had like this exact flavor of. I know it's like whatever. It's fucking. Those West Taiwanese are real jerks.
You know what I really can't stand about them West Chinese, about them West Taiwanese, excuse me? When you order out from the West Taiwanese delivery place, alright, and like they don't understand a word of English when you're making your order, and then at the very end when they give you the total amount, they speak perfect English. What's up with that? Huh, Montes? That's been grinding my fucking gears. Basement, you son of a bitch. Why you gotta be like that?
He's just sending over the good memes.
Debt to America, ladies and gentlemen, and we're really glad you're here. Courtesy of Bad Post Roman, we're now eating clipped potato chips. You see this? Like, it's now blending into the fucking green screen. You see this? I am now part of Mother Nature itself, except my hair. What's going on?
And that sick East Taiwanese Lay's logo.
And they're always like, you buy now when you go to their fucking East Taiwanese, like, grocery stores. And...
No, it's West Taiwanese.
Well, oh.
They're the ones who are like, you buy now. It's the West Taiwanese.
Excuse me.
East Taiwan, super respectful.
You know what I don't like about West Taiwan?
I mean, I can think of a couple of things. But
Listen, egg rolls are one of the worst culinary contributions to the world, and you could thank West Taiwan for that.
That's better. Why does West Taiwan hate Central Taiwan? I like Central Taiwan.
All right, what bone do they have to pick with like other Taiwan?
I mean, I think it just stems from the fact that like Central Taiwan is so well received and liked, and they're so small. You know what I mean?
China? Never heard of it. 404 error. Rape of Nanking not found. What are you talking about? After the action, up in the back like fucking Henry Kissinger himself.
That's right. I like this stuff. I like Central Taiwan, Eastern Taiwan.
Well, just real quickly,
Taiwan Classic.
Courtesy of Retro Taiwan, Classic Taiwan,
the original Taiwan.
Yo, the Taiwan 1951 original lineup comeback tour.
Thank you. After the action.
After the action, thank you for doing your part. Listen,
is Hong Kong Southeast Taiwan? I mean,
Kool-Aid, are you here? We need your help in making sure I can blend into the background as he ends up getting like an
What's up, Muzan?
and he ends up getting an assassination from West Taiwan.
Grippos get sent out Monday.
Ooh! All right. So listen, we're going to be doing reviewing reviews. So Grippos are going to be sent to us, and El Primo has claimed they're the greatest barbecue potato chip that side of the Mississippi.
Really?
So we're going to get some.
Okay.
Thank
I'm down
you.
with that.
El Primo, gracias por tu
We
consideración.
gotta get those pork patty things that Kool-Aid wanted us to eat.
Oh, that's right. Pork, was it pork patties?
Or something like that. Or some pork disc.
Not Jimmy Dean sausage. That's what I remember it
It was
as.
definitely like pork though, I'm pretty sure. Because we were like, is it sausage patties or like ham? And it was like pork. Your mask is covered with chip crumbs.
Listen, eating with a mask is daunting, but not impossible, all right?
I love these.
So, for those who are just joining us, we had been very fortunate to have potato chips and popcorn from various corners of the earth. You see, my friend Roman, he ended up getting from a place called Trap at 297 Broadway in Brooklyn, which is the Shelbyville of Queens. And there were things like Hokkaido cheese potato chips from Taiwan, courtesy of Lay's, all right?
Yo, Muzan, don't even send us like snacks we wouldn't have. Just put a bunch of snacks that you're like, these are the best. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something that we can't get, go for it. But if you're like, nah, this is the fucking, like, this is the snack. And because part of reading reviews is us going, is this the snack?
Mm-hmm.
We're not just judging if we had it or not. We're judging whether or not your critique of that snack is worth the critique.
El Primo, I'm going to have to send, I'll send Monoxis the review, aka the promo you cut over Grippos, and then that's going to be the intro to us eating these fucking chips on YouTube. So we really appreciate that, man.
Grippos? I still never heard of them.
Now hang on. Grippos are the goddamn official chip sponsor of the Cincinnati Reds. All right. Now, FYI, if Cleveland Brown fans and Boston Celtic fans ever unite as one, they could take over America. Montes Burrows all Haynes, I procured an item of immense power, and I was not going to spoil the bit, but the shipping is going to take a while. Holy shit, so for all I know, Montes Burrow has either found Excalibur, the jacket...
Yo, I've heard of all dressed up chips.
The jacket and
I've heard they're
pants
mad good.
that Oliver North wore during his Iran-Contra hearing, or probably the suit Joliet Jake was buried in. It's going to be one of those three. All dressed chips from Canada. From Canada. I'm very sorry, but we do not have access to Canadian goods here in New York City. There is no Tim Hortons for miles.
Unless you want to ship it over here.
There are no loonies and there are no toonies. There's quite a bit that we don't have that's over up in Canada. However, I would like to say that Canada's, it looks like a lovely country. I've only been to Canada twice. One time, I went to London, Ontario, and I was almost offended by how clean it was. And another time, I went to Montreal. And again, I was offended by how clean it was. It was really nice. It was strange to be in a international city at like 1:30 in the morning and not feel threatened or have to look over my shoulder. I'm not saying nobody dies in Montreal, but it was kind of a weird change of pace compared to, you know, Manhattan. Mexico Norte. Hey, you take that back, El Primo. The Leafs are a proud people, even though the day of the rake is on its way. Last year, their factory caught on fire and the barbecue only fueled the fire.
Yeah, so
The Great Grippos Fire of 2020.
I was like, I'm not going to acknowledge him.
Listen,
You want to get a pizza?
I would love to get a pizza. All right, ladies and jerks. First of all, now hang on.
'Cause part of me was like, I want a beef patty right now. And you know who sells beef patties? Pizzerias.
I would very. Oh my God, they're.
Yo, you're covered in crumbs. I looked over and was like, there's just crumbs all over you.
Listen,
I don't know how you did
I
it.
live like this. Don't judge.
They were just stuck to everything on the way down. Like, my pants are super obvious, but like, I knocked everything down to the pants. You were just crumbs. All right, so I was gonna do like a regular pie.
Or what I like to call Mexico North. Do you have change for 20?
I don't think so.
God damn it. Hold on. Do I have singles? Shit.
I don't have any cash on me. I don't think I do.
The fucking nobody carries cash anymore. You see this bullshit?
Because I do everything digitally. Get a fucking digital wallet and then send me money.
You don't have change for a fucking 20.
Currently, no.
This is the 20 question, by the way. I'm trying to fucking be decent and be like, bro, can
Why
we
don't
get...
you have change for a 20?
God damn it. You see, it's always deflect. Hold on.
Why don't you have change? You Mr. I carry cash on me. I always have money on me. You got change, though?
You fucking... All right.
The current state of Noxus. What? I'm right! I'm right!
How about this? If you're getting can I at least get us beef patties, all right?
You want a beef patty, too?
All right.
So 2 beef patties.
So, look,
2 beef patties and a pizza.
put cheese on the beef patties. You know you want to.
I don't know if they do that here.
They fucking better well should.
They don't,
What?
They don't do cheese beef patties.
No. I would like to speak to the manager.
All right, I'm just gonna put it in the notes and hope we get it.
Don't put pepperoni in it too.
Okay. That they have.
Yes. All right. So, ladies and jerks, the absolute state of Monoxus screaming at me for not having change. I have 20s, but I don't have change for a 20. This is what we have been reduced to. Okay?
Delivery notes beef patty.
Got a pillowcase full of nickels to bonk the fuck out of someone if they want to act the fool. And right next to the pillowcase of nickels is like 3 toasters in a pillowcase, and he has that attached to a rope like a flail, so he does like long distance Simon Belmont shit.
All right, we'll see if we get the cheese. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
How much are the patties?
They were like $4 each, I think, because of the fucking beef patty, because the pepperoni.
If they don't give us cheese, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Well, the cheese they technically didn't charge. I just put a note being like, put cheese in it. So hopefully they put cheese in it.
All right, so listen. Delivery guy will only have change for the 20.
I already paid. I do everything digitally. It goes to the card.
You see, listen. This because the middle class has gone extinct. This is all that's left. All right, you've heard it here first, folks. So, I know it's really hard to have to boil down one thing for a favorite, but if you had to pick a favorites for these potato chips, what would it be? I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to take the fucking Krispy Kreme popcorn. Like that was,
In terms of enjoyment, the Krispy Kreme popcorn was just slamming. It's not a chip though. Like, all right, here's how I'm gonna imagine it.
The mango chili is what I'm going with.
Here's what I'm gonna imagine. All right. Hey, what's going on, John Woo? Catching the last minute bits of it, not last minute, but the end of this.
John Woo, what's good, homie?
And thank you. All right, so these 4 are on a shelf in front of me. I gotta grab one.
Mm-hmm.
I can only have one. All right. Typically, I'm not trying to hurt myself. I love them spicy chips.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're amazing. And if you like that kind of shit, my God, they were good. But I'm gonna go with these.
Hokkaido cheese.
Yeah. Again, I don't think any of them were bad. Those were all really good.
The mango chili, though, if I had to pick a potato chip, like it would have to be the mango chili.
They were all good, but if it was like I have to pick one of these and walk away with it, it was those cheese ones.
Really?
My God, those were good. And I'm only saying that like the popcorn was better, But from a health standpoint, the amount of sugar that must be in those, I'm like, no, do not grab those. They were covered in a layer of just pure sugar. It was basically candy coated popcorn.
Right, but it was donut covered popcorn.
It's candy. Donuts are covered in sugar. It's the same shit. But close second would be the mango ones. And to be fair, I'd put the hot chips above the Krispy Kreme ones, just from a health standpoint.
And shout outs to Roman for procuring these things from Trap. Trap. It's not just potato chips and drinks from overseas. They also do clothing and they screen print shit. So listen, 297 Broadway, 11211. I believe that is the area code. All right.
You still have mad chips on you?
It just never ends.
Like the silver of the mask just has chips stuck to it. It's like plastic, so it's just stuck on there. So good. Oh, what a mess. Now for my fucking pizza.
See, so the magic of Hollywood doesn't let you see the 4K crumbs on my mask, all right?
Until we get a fucking, like, 4K camera, and then, like, you can see the pores in my skin and the crumbs falling down Haynes' mask.
So, before the pizza gets here, all right, I would like to state just a few quick things about, like, the middle class going extinct, all right? All right. So there has been a very we made a video about this, the Great Reset, but
yeah,
like the point is, there's been like a restructuring of the economy, and where like a great number of bedrocks and points of stabilities are no longer there, and I believe once the boomers die off. There's going to be a transfer of wealth to the millennials where they will kind of get their last hurrah. But you're going to see this really weird, obnoxious, like 50's the new 30, and like they will not learn to age gracefully because they have never gotten over themselves. We're going to see this after a decade from now.
Okay.
Because
I can see that, yeah.
Because of the boomers,
a generation that just can't accept its place.
But partially because like we've yet to start seeing the boomers die off en masse.
Yeah.
But once that happens, like the days are numbered, and like I don't know. On one hand, like spiritually, like we're free from the generation that left us nothing behind and wanted to stay alive, like against all odds, and wanted to see the country in a camper while like people were dying roadside from starvation. And on the other hand, millennials, after inheriting this worth, they're going to have depending on your income bracket will depend on what kind of what crapulence you will be wallowing in. All right.
Yeah.
So for example, like affluent white liberal women are their Instagram is basically gonna be like R9K for women who make like over 80 or more thousand a year. All right. And eventually the image of something is going to be much more valuable than the actual thing in itself. Like we're going to see a return to like even down to like the middle class doesn't exist anymore, but people are going to leave the house with a Starbucks coffee cup with coffee just from home, but just to have that social signifier of like I can afford Starbucks. And you're going to see that all across the board. Mark my words.
It's cheaper just to buy the bag of coffee beans and make it at home, but it's still Starbucks.
That's and I would like to believe that things like that have been happening on small scales ever since the economy shot the bed and went comatose in 2009. But like, you know, you're gonna start to see it en masse.
Yeah.
All right. I have my desk. All right, a real hero.
That's why women buy cheaper sex toys now.
Really?
Why buy an actual like sex toy when you can buy like a massager on Amazon?
You mean a massage wand?
A massager. That totally isn't shaped like a dick.
Ha! All right.
Or you can get a sex toy from like a sex shop.
Well, I
It
mean,
costs like 3 times as much.
well,
I'm just saying. So we're talking about women and their habits.
What is up with women having Amazon wish lists for shit they're probably not even going to use? But that's neither here nor there. That's a
My
different
wish
story.
list is so that I can keep track of the shit that I want. Because no one buys me shit off it anyway.
Monthus chimes in with my infernal laboratory deep within the bowels of Burrow Manor where all nefarious things I work on happening. Yeah, and it's also where he fucking takes it out on a speed bag and talks shit to like invisible opponents while like fucking like doing calisthenics to James Brown. That's the steak to the sizzle I'm selling. It's funny because it's true. This guy, he trains like he fights. So instead of like sweatpants and a hoodie, like he's in like a collared shirt and like dress pants and dress shoes and a vest over the shirt tucked into the pants, and he's going after the heavy bag. So if and when it does go down, because Montes overdresses all the fucking time. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go get milk and eggs, and now he's wearing like a fucking tuxedo and a top hat, and he's got a cane and a cape, and like all the bitches are making like fucking tuxedo mask jokes, and he's like, I don't even got a mask. Get with the times. You always on your damn phone. Who holds the best time for certified racist speedrun?
Oh, hands. I think we've been bullshitting, but
The Nation of Islam, maybe?
a little while back, this happened.
Stained Haynes asks chat a question. AMDH, I'm sorry
So
if
we should get that in, because but we also now have to think about who holds the best time for certified racist speed run.
I would have to say Rex Kramer.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
All right, Rex Kramer. That he holds the world record for racism.
That's really good.
I got to ask chat a question. All right, so you can have. Hold on. You see, that's right, fucking Montes, you son of a. All right.
Well, because when he was like, "Who holds it?" I was like, "Who dropped an N bomb? Who shouldn't have? And did they do it in 2 words or less?" Because part of me was like, Mel Gibson's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, he's kind of the reigning heaveyweight champion of recorded,
Yes.
on record. Like
Mel
that's the
Gibson's
difference
pretty
between
good.
like, Kramer, Michael Richards,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Just someone like who just dropped it. Like,
Okay.
no warning, it just happened.
Okay, I got to ask a question.
Because
Okay.
Easy Mo would be like Donald Trump.
Dremel Dram.
Yeah.
All right, I got to ask Chad a question. If you can procure one item to store wherever it is you live, in your house or your apartment or your bunker or your studio, wherever it is that you live, if you can procure one item to bring back from anywhere, any store, any country, one item, and you got to fit it through the door, what is it? I mean, like, you can't go nuts and get like a fucking like ivory handled fucking like sofa from the Metropolitan Museum because you can't get it through the door, unless you live in a place where you could do that.
I can't steal the Statue of Liberty because I can't fit through the door.
Right.
Okay. Any one item or good, whatever I want, as long as I can fit it through the front door
Yes.
from anywhere in the world.
Or any store, or any. It doesn't even. But and even.
The actual full replica wearable version of the Guyver suit from the live action movie.
Wow. All right.
So I have a full Guyver suit replica in my house.
Wow. Okay.
Probably can't wear it because it wouldn't fit me because I'm not as tall as the guy who wore it. But the Guyver suit.
Damn. That's a really good. All right, that's an excellent request. Holy shit.
Put that bitch up.
I mean, and presumably okay, but
it's
like
somewhere in the world.
But the case. I mean, you would have to assemble the case or have the case assembled indoors.
Yeah, I mean, I could turn it sideways and bring it in. You know what I mean?
Just have it hanging there.
It fits in the doorway.
Watch, Monoxis is gonna have the full action.
A fat suitcase filled with cash. I guess, yeah, if you find one.
Okay, but that's like I mean,
The Kermit the Frog puppet, like the actual Kermit the Frog.
Now, hang on, El Primo, you are stealing something from the Smithsonian, and I gotta applaud that. That's actually like a really good move.
Technically, I could get the residence fridge from the MoMA.
Ooh.
I don't want it, but I could. I
Okay.
want the Guyver suit.
The Jim Henson motherfucking puppet. I unironically was thinking of that '92 Dracula armor.
Yeah, there's some cool movie props that I want.
like Danger. If you were to specify it though, you'd probably have to get like some like something from the back of an armored truck.
Yeah, like
Like-
a bag of money from an armored truck.
Like if you really had to split hair about it, because it couldn't be in a suitcase. It'd probably have to be like a sack of money from a full armored truck. So, all right, I could get behind that.
I'm sure someone still fucking deals in suitcases full of money.
Or like, okay, would you settle on a duffel bag? Because like a duffel bag is bigger than a briefcase.
I think the point of the question was to think more of an item that you want and not just being like, give money.
All right. You're
Because
not
I could
wrong.
be like, I want the credit card that Bill Gates doesn't put any use to and probably has an unlimited supply.
I know I don't
checks.
have ice. Come on, I know I don't have
There's
ice.
nothing left. We're done.
Oh. My lord. All right, fine. We're gonna get
There
use
wasn't-
from Othello. All
There
right.
wasn't much left in there, so.
This guy.
There wasn't. There was very little left in the bottle.
This guy.
Uh-oh. Why do you have that saved? Why'd you save that?
Is this something about orthorexia nervosa?
Yes, it's
Excuse
the
me.
thing. It's the whole thing.
Dr. Stephen Bratman. 1997, Colorado physician Dr. Stephen Bratman. All right.
Well, because you always read the chat, he found a way to work around the fucking 10,000 points. He's just gonna make you read it through chat.
Now hang on.
He's a genius.
Hang on. Now Montes Burrow chimes in with the 58 Gresh 6120 like Poison Ivy played. I've always wanted a 40-pound guitar. But the thing is, people will take physical cash even if it's foreign at 10 times the rate. Moist. All right. Well, someone else went live.
Oh, that's
So, now hang on, A of the H. This orthorexia nervosa you're talking about, is that what people call veganism these days? Is that it?
Don't engage him.
He's something about wrong foods result in a total
Don't
reliance
engage
upon what
him.
other vegans are
He
doing.
has to pay 10,000 points for this.
To keep themselves.
He can't cheat the
just,
system.
I'll just read one.
He can't cheat the system.
All right, look at what you're. A of the H. I'm actively trying to. A vegan diet is an attempt to gain control over.
You probably have it memorized. We're not even covering this.
One simple aspect of their life, another other person's ordinary.
Go to the deli and buy beers.
All right,
And you, A of the H, don't make me time you out. Hey, check that shit out. We got Montes Burrow.
All right.
Prime, the free sub.
Montes.
That was my favorite one.
Thank you for joining us to suffer. And we really appreciate extremes like vegan dog food completely free of meat or animal derivatives composed only of organic vegetarian ingredients like soy, peas, carrots, and sunflower oil. Is there nothing a dog loves more than the wild hearty grains of rolled oat cake? Alright, then we're gonna get to the dead babies because of a vegan diet. I know where this is going. That's not for answering Twitter messages. Oh!
Twitter messages. I don't check Twitter.
Now hang on, AVH talking mad shit. Alright.
I don't check Twitter.
This monster has the white background instead of a fucking like the black background. I mean, honestly, like
I mean, my desktop, here's the thing, you can tell what I use, because the desktop is all dark background, and the mobile version, which is where I actually usually look on things, is still, because, you think I use Twitter?
look at this guy pretending he's not on Twitter, even though, can you put the picture again?
Oh, I mean,
Even though this just happened on Twitter. So you see, so we're glad you could join us.
Twitter is for memes, boy.
All right. White background is for people that don't actually care about the environment. That's right, a real hero.
Kill them all.
All right. So I'm gonna go to the deli and I'll be right back. Chances...
Oh, wait, if you're actually going to go to deli, because the pizza's going to be here soon.
Oh, okay.
We should probably just wrap this up.
Okay. So, vámonos, muchachos. Buenas noches. Thank you for joining us. For those who had...
Oh, you know what we could do?
Hmm.
So this week we're going to a party on Saturday. Yeah. We're gonna have our masks.
Yeah.
I can stream from my phone.
I think we should.
So next week we're probably gonna be streaming live from a party. It won't be 4 hours.
No, but we're gonna stream.
We can stream from the party. In fact, I have a new tablet. I could probably set the stream on the tablet.
That would be excellent.
So next week we'll be streaming from a party.
All right, tune in next Saturday. All right, we're gonna be streaming from a party. It's gonna be intermittent, and you better just like stay on the battle stations. But we're gonna figure something out.
I mean,
all right?
I'll set it up somewhere and we'll just see how it goes. And if not, I'll just carry it around while we do shit.
Parties mean things.
So yeah, next week, Saturday, party stream.
Monthos goes, I sent Monoxus a link to some residence finally, and he stole my social security number.
Don't send me links. I'm gonna do a party over here. I don't know what that means. I've been to parties. I
Alright.
went to COVID parties.
So
And we were like, nobody gives a shit.
and no one has gotten sick either.
And no one got sick. I mean, I might have gotten sick. I may not have noticed it.
Puerto Rican Day Parade party? Oh no. We'll show you when we get there. Don't. It's.
Is that the following week? Because tomorrow's Pride.
That's right.
Except they canceled it.
Yeah.
They're doing a digital parade.
Really, as if digital concerts weren't as enough of a spit in the face. We've got digital pride parades.
But yeah, so it's been a pleasure. Thank everyone for coming on by.
Thank you for coming on by.
Next Saturday, as long as
After the action report, good looks on coming on through, homie.
as long as the host permits it, we'll set it up somewhere and
We'll
stream
figure.
from the party.
I'll ask.
Yeah, because then I can bring some. I can bring a tablet. I can bring like a mount to put it up, and we can set it in the corner in a backyard in the party somewhere. And I mean, like the audio might suck, and I'll pull the phone out when we're like walking around and be like, "That's dicks."
I would love that. Masks on. Let's fuck this up. All right.
So we'll see everybody next week.
Ladies and jerks, buenas noches. Y gracias por tu consideración. Really, we really appreciate that.
Good night, everybody.